Hey guys, how's it going? So, I figured since last time we rushed ahead really hard and kind of progressed through the Agnes Castle arc, which I was really excited about, I realized towards the end of last stream that we actually skipped out on 2 hero classes again, which, I knew for a fact had to be in the, where is it? Is it the Condensio region? Yeah, it was the Condensio region. That was in English. Condensio region. So, there were like 4 or 5 question marks on the map, and what I did off stream was I ran up to each of them, I saved it for each one, and then, because I knew obviously only like 2 of the however many there were could be the hero quests. If it started a cutscene, I restarted. If it started a side quest, I was like, it's fine. But I wanted to go ahead and do those 2 hero quests first, and then while I am interested to see, I mean, right now the next step in our main story is to go to, I don't remember exactly where it was, but Mio said she wanted to show us something. I believe it had something to do with M's Last Will, which, I don't know, I'm still reeling from the story. One thing that I think this game has done really, really well, and I talked about it a bit towards the end of last stream as well, I think, is that this game makes a lot of things I feel kind of obvious in that I thought it was really, really clear. I mean, I even mentioned it while everything was going down, that surely, you know, one of the kind of quote-unquote Deus Ex Machina that could have saved us from everything that was going on with N, with X being able to seal powers and everything like that, was that M seemed very, very hesitant. So I was thinking, surely, you know, she's going to be the one that helps us. And I remember even, like, we saw when we first fought Consul M, there was that first little purple effect on her powers that kind of separated M and Mio. And we were super confused. We were like, what was that? Because every other time she clearly took over someone else. And again, like, I just didn't see, despite all that, despite us kind of clearly seeing that was, you know, something to do with Consul M was going to be how it affected it, I had no idea, you know, with what happened, that was going to be the case. It was really, really interesting. But either way, like I was saying, we did miss out on 2 heroes here. I am like 99% certain that the 2 question marks I have left on this region have to be it. So let's just go ahead and do it. I literally, like, saw the first frame of this cutscene, for example, and then cut out. So I really don't know what's going on.
Something. What is it, Mimi? Banana see person on ground.
Okay. Well, she has a unique design. This must be the new...
You right up.
I'm assuming this is a new hero. I mean, genuinely speaking, it's not always been the case. But if someone has a super unique design like that, that kind of sticks out, I just assume they're one of the new heroes. It could...
I have to.
I could be wrong, but
Help.
Fiona? Yeah, surely.
Everyone.
Interesting.
Stop moving. You don't understand. I
Um,
promised them. Said I'd
okay.
keep them safe.
So I know we have every tank hero based on, like, the hero screen, and, like, the colors, the blue, red, green. And I'm pretty sure the 2 heroes we're missing are an attacker and a healer. So I wonder if she's the attacker or the healer.
If I'm the only one that survives, then it's all been for nothing.
Okay.
I have to go.
Oi, don't be a clod.
Good old Lance. Yeah, I saw all these question marks and I figured there were some hero quests we'd be missing, but I was so excited to see the Agnes Castle arc. With how intense the Kevis Castle one was, it did not disappoint, but I was super excited for it.
What? You're really serious then? How are you gonna save anyone when you can barely stand yourself? You got a death wish or something?
Let's break it down. As I see it, you have 2 options here. You can go in and try to save them by yourself.
Or we could help you.
Or
You
you
know?
can let us pitch
Yeah.
in. Which one of those strikes you as the better
Huh.
idea, eh?
I wonder... The thing is, too, I don't think...
You want to help
Again, with
me?
how much we rushed, we really saw any new colonies in this region, so are there 2 entirely
That depends.
different colonies here?
But I wouldn't be in such a hurry to throw my life away. Being ready to die and actively trying to get yourself killed are 2 very different things.
You know, that's actually really reminiscent of what Ashira said. It was like, fighting to live and living to fight are 2 very different things, and the entire group didn't really understand it back then. I know the side hero quests aren't 100%, you know, a lot of them that aren't through the main story, I guess aren't like, you have to do them type things. But still, it's just interesting to kind of think maybe that's what changed them.
It's just a quick patch up, but it should help you think straight.
I do think it's funny too that we do have 2 healers with us in the main 6, but it feels like it's always Uni who heals people.
Sorry
You know?
about Lance and his threatening display
I get the
of
Tion's meant to be
idiocy.
like a good old Uni. But I get that Tion's meant to be like the tactician and such. And gameplay wise you have to give everyone like a healer, attacker, defender
What's
class. I
threatening?
just still think that's interesting.
You missed the point.
I did not miss the... Oh.
Look, you can relax.
Uh
We're all friends here.
Yeah.
Would you mind telling us what's going on?
Hmm.
Yeah, okay. There was a Kavesi raid.
Oh. Yeah, way to make us feel guilty. It's not like
Now's
half
my
of our
time.
group are
I had to
Kavesi.
cause a diversion, so I leapt in without a
Hmm.
second thought. After that,
Okay.
it's all a blur. That was pretty reckless of you.
See, that description makes me... See, design-wise, I thought she'd be the healer, because I have no idea what the other hero that we're getting here looks like. But that makes me make it sound like she was the attacker. You know, I jumped into the battle.
Oh.
Why does everybody always patronize lands?
Whatever the case may be, we had best hurry.
Hmm.
Judging by the situation, your allies were likely forced apart and are now fighting alone.
Okay.
It really sounds like it would help to have some numbers on your side, no?
For now, let's hit the best course of action we can.
Hmm.
We can hash out the details later.
Hmm. You know, I'm so surprised. I didn't even think about this. Mio's still in Consul M's outfit. I wonder if that's like... I might check after this cutscene if I can change that.
The best.
I didn't even think about that because I wasn't paying attention.
My name is Fiona.
Okay,
I am
so
the
it is
commander of
Colony
Mu.
Mu. Okay, so it is a new colony. That makes sense. I wonder, does that mean that the other hero that we're recruiting might actually be a Kavesi colony? Or is this just an entirely, you know, Agnian-based area? Because she said she was attacked by a Kavesi troop. And it's funny, too, because during the main story, they actually mention that most of them hadn't really ever seen the ocean. A lot of them... I mean, Mio specifically tells Noah that unlike Noah, who had to go to Kevis Castle once a year or once a term for, like, Offseer training, that wasn't a thing in Agnes. So,
Please,
just interesting
lend me
stuff.
your strength. I need to save my people.
Okay. Yeah, here's one. Yeah, I didn't even get this far. Like I was saying, I literally went up to the question marks, and if it started a cutscene, I restarted.
Good to add more
Like,
names.
there was a couple other ones. One of them just gave me some information. Another one... Maybe there's only 4. I was thinking there was 5, but I can only think of 4. Another one gave me this side quest here, where there's literally, like, some kind of, like... I don't know how to explain it. It was... Riku was saying something like, don't offer things to this statue or something to that effect, or it'll summon a terrible beast. I don't know, I just figured it was something that maybe summons a unique... You know, like a unique
Hold on, everyone.
encounter, something
I'm
like
on
that.
my way.
But... I didn't think either of them was, like, super important enough, especially with the information. It was, like, 1 of 2 information. I don't know where we get the other information on that other one. But anything that, like, has something we can discuss at the canteen, I figure in that case, you know, we're gonna be discussing it later anyways, if we go to a bonfire, which, now that I think about it, we also have a ton of those. Because I really haven't messed around with canteen conversation recently. I think we had, like, 3 pages. But we'll see. My first focus is these hero quests.
I'm so sorry.
I wonder if
You shouldn't have been
she's...
alone.
Let's send her on.
Hmm.
Her voice deserves to be heard.
All right.
Interesting. I actually like the Consul M outfit, but I think it looks a little out of place, to be honest. But after the original Consul M sacrifice, you know? Oh, and I forgot to... Oh. There we go. Yeah, when they say help Fiona save the people of Colony Mu, Why do I get the feeling that it's going to be off-searing all these people? But one thing I was going to check that. Oh, we can't even change clothing. So it looks like, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I've basically used the same outfits on everyone the entire time. But it looks like she's just stuck in this clothing until we progress the main story. Which, we'll see. I figured we'd just kind of play the hero quest by ear, see how long they take. Because some of them take drastically longer than others. I mean, the poster child for not taking any time on a hero quest is Gray's. But then we have some of the... I can't think of one off the top of my head that took the longest. But some of them take a hot second, you know? I think the longest one's taken is like an hour-ish. Whereas Gray's took like 15 minutes. So. And I don't plan on doing another super long stream today, because last time I did like an over 5-hour stream. And I don't mind doing long streams. I mean, I've considered doing even longer streams for some games. Longest one we've done was like 6.5 hours for 3 Hopes. But, you know, after doing such a long stream, and I didn't end up streaming yesterday because I was busy, but
Sean.
I figured it might be nice to do just a slightly shorter one. Not to disrespect the Fallen, Fiona. But we've been to 2 of these 4 markers to quote-unquote save your friends. And it does not, in fact, look like Sean kept everyone safe.
It must have hurt so much. Fiona, leave the rest to us.
Really does make you wonder, though, how we're going to find some way to bring peace between Kevis and Agnes. Even if we remove Mobius out of the situation, we've seen throughout the entire story there's still that prejudice. In fact, one thing that I keep noting is that it's kind of interesting how, in a lot of the Agnes colonies, it doesn't feel like we're getting the Cold Shoulder nearly as much as, like, Mios, Senna, and Tyon did in Colony 4. It's just something that, like, I would have thought we'd encounter in every single colony for half of them, and it just hasn't been the case. But it really does make you wonder. Does removing Mobius from the equation fix it? It's really sad. I still love that song, though. I've said it like every time it comes up at least once, but I love that song. Whoever did it knocked it out of the park. Elite lucky enemy, huh? You know, interestingly enough, I did find... I inherited a lot of the classes from... Specifically... well, I don't have... I don't know why we don't have access to... Why am I drawing a blank? I always feel so dumb, because I always draw a blank every time I'm about to say something. But these were the 3 classes that... These 3, and then... Fiona... Gondor's class. We didn't have inherited onto everybody. Oh, Monica, sorry. Sorry, just clicked in my head. But we didn't have these 4 classes on everyone because we weren't, like, getting any inheritance XP. And I'm pretty sure it was just because we were out of the level of everyone. I did find a couple areas, though, in this... There was one island, for whatever reason in this region, that had enemies, like... I mean, I think I can find it. But there was one island, like, right about... I think it was this one. Or was it? Yeah, I think it was this area. On, like, a beach. Not even on the entire island. Just the beach had enemies randomly, like, 5 levels higher. And so I went ahead and kind of got everyone their classes. So I think the only thing we're missing is, like, yeah, Incursor on Noah. Monica's class on Mio. And I think everyone else... No, we're missing Monica's class on quite a few people. Which I guess makes sense because you can only... It's a little bit easier, I think, to inherit the more people you have. So having that extra hero is helpful. That being said, though, I'm pretty sure we still have a Lost Vanguard active. Yeah, so... If we hit high enough level enemies, we'll slowly gain that. I figure at the end of the day, if we really hit a point where we... You know, especially if we're going to do some side quests towards the end of this stream, which I'm thinking about doing, since we've been completely ignoring any non-mandatory ones. It'll just be... We'll definitely be out of level range. I mean, I stopped using bonus XP. I think I have like 4 levels of bonus XP as well. I'm sorry, Fiona.
Hey, are you alright?
It's interesting to see. As always, though, I really like seeing how unique they make the interactions between commanders and the colonies. Because there are obviously a few more generic ones, but a lot of them are very, very different.
Crying isn't going to change anything.
Makes you wonder as well if Fiona is a younger commander. Because I believe the youngest commander we've met
Noah, Mio,
is...
would you mind?
I think Valdi was 6th term, and I know for a fact that Alexandria was 6th term, because she mentions that she specifically tries to look older.
I guess this is fate too, huh?
I really like Mia's long hair, too. I wonder if, like, it goes back, or if it's just long for the rest of the game. It was just one of those interesting things that, like, aside from the obvious outfit and mask, differentiated Mio from M. Because, Noah as well. I don't know, like, with the ponytail, if you could really say Noah's hair was, like, longer, quote-unquote, or if N's hair was longer, or if N just wore it down. But... like, that was one of, like, the big differentiating features that kind of showed that a good amount of time had passed for them.
Fiona.
Oh, we actually do save some of them. You know what? I'll take it. I thought this was about to be a really depressing hero quest. It's already been a bit of one, but...
Indeed. And it ended with your loss. Irma!
Is she using a flag?
Sorry. How's everyone?
Fiona!
Maybe it's like Joan of Arc from,
I was so worried about you.
from Fate. Just smack him with the flag.
We're
That'd be
surrounded.
interesting.
And pretty
I can't
bad.
imagine that she's the attacker class, though. Like I was saying, we're getting a healer and attacker here, I think, with these two hero quests. I can't imagine that she's a attacker if she's using a flag. Oh, maybe it's a spear with the flag. I don't know.
Go.
I guess I could have checked, now that I think about it,
All of us.
in the
Yes.
character screen. We probably looked right over it and didn't even pay
We didn't
attention.
ask for these outsiders. This is still our fight. But the wounded...
Ah, it's nothing. We're good.
Oh.
Yeah, we're fine. Still fighting fit. Relax, Fifi. You will
That's
be
an interesting
fine.
looking staff, too, that black-haired girl
In
has.
Colony Mew, we fight as one. Right, folks? You guys.
Okay. So it looks like a big, like, a colony where solidarity
Trust your
is a big
crew.
thing. Which isn't actually the case in a lot of colonies, really.
Trust yourself.
You know, some colonies...
Trust in victory.
Oh, okay, so trust, yeah.
All hearts as one!
Some colonies is basically like, we fight together because we have
We'll
to,
make it.
you know?
Together.
So,
Yeah.
kind of explains why Fiona... I mean, obviously anyone would be shaken, especially as the commander. But it kind of explains even more why she reacted the way she did. Okay, she is the healer. Yeah, I was messing around with all the classes. I don't think Gondor's class... I say this about so many classes, but... I genuinely don't think that there's very many classes in this game that just feel outright terrible, like I will never play them, ever. Like, if I was forced to play them, I'd be upset, type thing. But there are obviously classes I heavily prefer. I've mentioned so many times the tank classes I prefer the most are Ashira's, and my favorite is Zephyr. Healer-wise, I really haven't found one, though, that I'm like, man, I really love playing this healer class. It's more just... if I'm gonna play healer, I don't really mind which one I play. I'm not a big fan of Thaumaturge. But aside from that, you know, there's not one that I'm like super against playing. For attackers, though, it's just weird. So many of them just feel like, I don't even want to say hit or miss, it's just... they occupy such a, like, a similar niche. So many of them have like a break attack or something like that. I haven't found one. I do really like Ethos class design-wise, but that's because I really like dual swords. But even classes I initially really liked, like at the start I actually really liked Yumsmith, and then the more and more I played Yumsmith, it kind of lost its charm for me.
Retreat! Retreat!
We made it.
Yeah, good.
Fiona. Fifi. Irma. All of you.
I'm still thinking about like who inherits this class. I mean, this is one of those that if I guess this early, I'm probably just going to be wrong. But I do like guessing early on. It's difficult because I was under the impression that the person who inherited the class was usually someone from like the same side as you know, in terms of like being from Kevis or Agnes. But so far the one who talked to her the most was Lance. So it's difficult to say.
You pulled through. Thank you.
I'm also trying to think who's inherited classes recently.
Of course we did.
Because I don't know if they've actually... I mean, I remember looking at the character screen at one point and thinking, like, wow, I don't even remember who inherited these classes. So I can't even tell you, like, oh, but this person's inherited the past few classes.
We made a promise.
I actually don't think Noah's inherited one in a while, aside
We'll
from...
always be together.
Wait, was No, Gondor was Senna. Which, hilariously enough, was actually... Well, it's difficult to say, too, because Yuna inherited... What was it? She inherited Ashira's class, then we got one class for Tyon from Alexandria, and then it immediately went back to Uni with Monica's class, so I don't even know if that's accurate.
Lance, everybody.
Difficult to say. I'm just gonna guess Lance. I mean, a healer class for Lance, I have him on a healer right now, seems a bit out of the ordinary, and she's not from, you know, she's Agnian and he's Kabesi, but I don't really have anything else to go off of right now.
Whoa, all right, steady on. We're not deaf.
You were just gonna walk away. I couldn't let you go without a proper thank you.
That's okay.
Even if you're
Thanks.
Ouroboros, the betrayers.
Thank you, Fiona. Just like... It's okay.
Hang on.
I mean, every commander, we were told distinctly. I think it was Ashir who said it, actually. Every commander should be aware of who we are. Which still ties back into, like, did we just meet Volby early enough that he... Just some of them...
No.
I'm trying to
No need
remember.
to
Maybe
explain.
Volby did know, and I just don't remember.
You're our saviors.
That was a long time ago. I mean, he was one of the first heroes we got.
That's right. You even healed a wounded.
Your commander is a healer.
Yeah, you don't look like baddies to me.
I appreciate it, though. One of those situations where the higher-ups told them something, but these people are
And I noticed
kind
that
enough
when we were
to
fighting side by side,
try and make their
we
own
guys all
impression.
trust one another.
Well, we kind of have
That's
to.
why.
We've invaded both castles, like...
You've made up your mind, have you, Fiona? Yeah.
Oh.
That's why I want to try trusting too.
Oh, I thought she was going to say, I want to go with you, and that was going to be the next fastest hero quest. I
want to destroy our flame clock.
Oh, I
Do
didn't
you
even
mind
think about
doing
that, yeah.
us this one last favor?
We didn't, like, we just played like a 5+ hour stream without destroying a single flame clock. I didn't even think
It's
about
hardly a
it.
problem for us, but why the sudden request?
We heard about a liberated colony from Nopon travelers.
Okay.
That's what got me thinking.
I wonder which
Should be more to
one.
life than spending it fighting all the time.
Yeah.
Being ready to die and actively trying to get yourself killed are two very different things.
It's... Yeah, again, that, like, it's another way of saying what Ashira said, but in a very... From the perspective of someone very different as well, you know? The polar opposite of Ashira, actually. It's interesting, though. I wonder if it's just because these hero quests are later on in the story. Because I mentioned, like, Alexandria very clearly was trying to, like, have their end goal free them from the flame clock as well. I wonder if that's going to be the case for some of the other hero quests we do.
Sounds to me
Where they're
like you
already
can
aware
like
that's what
that.
we've been doing. And they've actually given enough thought and had enough time to think it over.
This has to change.
That they want us to do
I
so.
want to change myself.
Hmm.
I want to change the way things are.
Good on you.
Looks like you got it figured out. You'll trust me.
Yeah.
That's the same look you gave us when we first met.
A bit confused almost.
You'll do anything to protect your friends, won't you?
Yeah.
All right then. Let's make tracks for Colony Mew.
I wonder
That
how
is,
close it
if
is.
she didn't still seem to be having second thoughts. Care to tell us
Oh.
why?
Oh, you noticed? Well, that
I
makes
didn't.
things easier. There are
I wonder if
two
this is her
major
lieutenant.
stumbling blocks.
Who
The
knows?
first is that you'll have to somehow outwit the
Oh.
Consul.
Okay, so they do have an... It's just weird because it's not... Most colonies seem to have at least somewhat in touch with their consul, obviously to stop us from destroying the flame clock. But different colonies, again, seem to have varying levels of presence in them, you
And
know?
second, that
You have
no
like Juniper's
Midnight
colony where they
Council
were basically
knows
an
the
abandoned
location
colony,
of
and
the
then you have
flame
colonies
clock
like
under
4 at the
discussion.
very beginning that it's literally 100% presence.
Huh?
What?
How can you not know?
Yeah, isn't it usually on the, what's it called? Like their
The
main
one you see right now?
base thing.
That's just a fake.
Oh,
Fake? How's that then?
that's really interesting. Like, can't they see like the life essence when they fight go into the flame clock?
Oh, but the Consul isn't here right now. This might be the right time to act.
Well, if it's a fake and you don't know where the real one is,
Fiona, this isn't the place to be
yeah.
having this conversation.
You wouldn't think it'd be easy to hide. The Pharaonis, that's what it called. You wouldn't think that'd be easy to hide, but who knows?
Right. Sorry.
In any case, let's talk details at the colony.
Okay.
Our people are on their last legs. We'll need time to get back to strength.
Please, take this.
Oh. Oh, the circlet of
I'm
wisdom.
happy you were able to send everyone on their way. It really helped me to be a little more positive. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, Fiona. I mean, I can only imagine how depressing. I'd be really torn apart
Sorry about all the urgent
if I was in her
requests.
position.
We'll be waiting for you at Colony
That's
New.
fine.
Don't keep us waiting
That's
too
basically
long.
all we do when we interact with a new colony. Solve their issues, then break their flame clock. Then
Good to add
leave.
more names.
Tell them we'll help them and then leave.
Whoa, check this place out.
Oh, it was right here. Okay.
Good to add more names.
Let's head toward this new colony. I mean, I still don't even know how much more of the game we
I
have.
see some relations have changed.
Now that we don't have to deal with N and M anymore. I mean, we know we have to deal with Consul Z. There's obviously consoles like Consul X that are still running about that can... I mean, X's power is potentially still a really big issue. There's obviously stuff to deal with, but... I don't know. It's hard to tell, too, because some of the chapters vary so much in length. I mean, Chapter 5 was super long.
Wah! Such flower
Oh,
power!
wow.
Manana flubbard!
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected something like this to be here.
Everyone, we've been waiting for you.
This is awesome. Did you guys make this?
I suppose we did. Whenever we say farewell to a friend, we plant
Oh,
flower
okay.
seeds.
That's actually... Why? They made it so much more sad in an instant. Look at how many there are.
They kept growing over time, and
gosh.
before we knew it, we had this.
It's beautiful, but
Yeah.
To think of all the departed. Standing still spells death. If we can't
Yeah.
achieve victory, there
It's
will
just
be
one of
no
those-
tomorrow.
You don't necessarily want to push forward with what's going on in their world, but you can't just stand still, you can't go back, and if you try to, you're just going to lose your life. But, one thing I'm still in question about was Eden lying about the whole, if you actually reach homecoming, you don't come back? Because, aside from the one super minor, like, scene where we saw homecoming in Keves, the only major character that we've seen that happen to is M. Now, who we thought was, you know, Mio at the time. I just don't know. Like, it's crazy to think, too, because just so many of the commanders are in, you know, 10th term. I mean, Ethel and Kamaravi, I'm 100% certain. I know Ethel was, I'm pretty sure Kamaravi was. They were both in 10th term. And we still don't have confirmation that Kamaravi is going to be hero unit. But I've looked at, I mean, I remember we've looked at the outlines, and I mentioned, I think it was last stream, that there's a character that looks like they have, like, the candle tuft of hair on the top of their head. Because you can see on every class in the hero screen, or, like, the character class screen, sorry. If you don't have them, you can see the red, blue, or green circle for what class type they are. And then you can see a rough outline of them. One of them really does look like an attacker that looks a lot like Kamaravi. But they were both 10th term. Imagine if they both lived maybe 6 months longer,
But still,
you know?
we didn't want to
Just
forget
interesting.
that they were all here once.
And I still wonder, like, you know, we off-seer everybody, for the most part. Is it something about the homecoming ceremony itself, being in the presence of the queen? You know? Or is it just hitting the end of your lifespan and that counts?
So that's why you're getting all teary-eyed.
Just one of those semantics that I don't even know if that'll be explained, because I don't know if it's necessarily relevant anymore
No,
because of
it's just the pollen.
Mio's lifespan no longer being an issue and everyone else having at least a couple years.
It
But
doesn't take much to get Commander Boohoo here going.
why do you have to be so mean? She just seems like a really sweet person.
Irma,
Looks like you've taken a lot on your shoulders. Doesn't it weigh you down?
This does seem like one of the colonies, though, where everyone seems a bit more like an equal. You know, they obviously have to have some chain of leadership, but again, they base everything on trust and relying on one another.
You can put the burden down whenever you want, you know. You can still choose to keep things the same as always.
Same as always. That makes me wonder if she's inherited the title of commander somewhat recently,
I wouldn't think any less of you if you
but
did.
who knows?
Neither would anyone else.
I feel like a lot of times I'm just reading too much into these types of things.
I love you for saying that, Irma. Just like I love everyone here. And Colony Mew, where I met you all.
Okay.
And ever since I realized that, tomorrow stopped looking so dark. And that's exactly why I can't run away from my responsibility.
Yeah. Well, even if we destroy their flame clock, there's still a whole lot to figure out. I mean, every colony's had to deal with, you know, what happens if the other side still fights them? How do they deal with, like, the food situation?
I get it. Whatever happens,
I wonder how
I
Colony
trust in
9's
you.
farms ended up going.
And I trust you too.
This is actually really wholesome.
Fiona, Irma. All the squad leaders have assembled. We can start the meeting
Okay.
at your convenience. Understood. I'll be right there.
I mean, I'm 100% certain we're going to have to fight a Consul at some point here, because... Seriously, I don't know how they hide the Ferranis, of all things, for the flame clock, but... Even if we find it, somehow... Oh my gosh. Even if we find it somehow, you'd think the Consul's still going to show up. And if we don't deal with every colony's Consul, there's potential they come and just wreck them when we're gone.
Stop it!
Loosen up, Fifi. Get it all out of you.
Fifi, huh?
now she's
Reminds me a
back
lot
to
of how
herself.
Senna calls Mio Mimi.
We're waiting in the square.
Why? I'll get you back, you'll see. Run away!
It's genuinely good, though, that they sprinkle in these kind of wholesome moments.
That the Consul will make it
But then they
easy for
sprinkle in the
us with
sad
flame
moments.
clock.
Yeah. Like the whole, like, oh, it's a beautiful field of flowers. Yeah, we did plant them all. By the way, every single one represents somebody who died.
Someone will
Just,
surely pay for this with their
jeez.
life. Again,
We'll take care of it. I mean, we've gotten rid of how many consoles at this point?
please. Do whatever you can.
Oh, and I
to
think about we
make
still have to
sure
deal with
it's
Yorin,
not
huh?
Fiona.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Good to add more names. I see some relations have changed.
Cause yeah, we knocked, when D and J... Now that I think about it too, we never saw M and N interlink, but that might have been because they weren't in harmony, you know? And basically dragged M along with everything and made the choice for her. Which is why she hesitated so much. But when D and J interlinked him, we knocked him off the cliff. Tyon said he left one of his little origami things inside of them and realized that they were still alive. But then we haven't seen them again, and that was back before... Well, it was during Kevis Castle. But we'll have to deal with that at some point as well. So Z, D and J, X, and those are the only, like, main story consoles I can think of. A lot of the consoles, I think, from these hero quests either don't die because they're still integral to the story, because, again, I think all these side, quote-unquote, hero quests aren't technically 100% necessary to complete the game. So,
Let me just...
that's why I think we either kill the consul or it's someone we've already met and they just don't, you know, they run away. Granted, like, the consul from Ashir's colony got away, and I don't think we ever saw her, or probably will see her in the main story, so who knows?
Those Kavesi dudes are still loitering around.
Who's loitering again?
There is a Kevis on here. Yeah, you never really think about it, but Lan's height-wise compared to everyone, like, look at the difference between Lance and Mio.
Sounded like someone was having a bit of a whinge. We all good here?
We're great. Right, Tallow?
Oh my gosh.
Right, Chief. No whinging here.
Say again?
Nothing to say, really.
Like you just gaslighting them at this point.
I'll take your word for it.
Time is of the essence. Sorry to rush, but can we get straight to the point?
What should we talk about first?
These are those types of conversations, like, this type of thing appears in Genshin a lot, and honestly, I just skip it, but we should probably go over everything.
You
So,
said the colony's flame clock was a fake. What did you mean by that?
I don't know if... I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory, but...
Wow, pretty blunt, huh?
I mean, it's important if you want us to destroy
you
it.
don't really know any more beyond the fact that it's a fake.
Okay.
Since we never use it anyway, yeah?
Oh, are they not a combative colony? That would also explain a lot.
When it's close to running dry, we get orders from the Consul to go out and fight.
Oh, okay, never mind. I wondered if there's going to be another colony to, like, Valdi's mechanic type thing, where they're not really a combative one.
Do you
But
think maybe there's some
who
weird
knows?
advantage to it? Like, maybe the colony's rank is really high, but it makes it look lower to get enemies to
I
underestimate
feel like
us.
if you... I mean, we still haven't met a gold rank colony. I'm still assuming Kamaravi's colony was silver. I'm pretty sure that was stated. We've met Kamaravi's, Ethel's, I believe Alexandria's was, and Ashira's was. We still haven't met a gold rank colony, but I kind of doubt it's Fiona's colony. No offense, Fiona, but like, you're struggling against like a few small patrols.
Or the exact opposite.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if anything.
Actually, we're bottom tier, but it looks a lot higher to intimidate people.
Well, they might not be like, I think the lowest rank is actually dirt rank. I don't know if they'll be
yeah.
dirt rank per
It
se.
could
They
be
could
that.
just be like bronze or iron, you know?
Well, your actual strength doesn't change, so it'd be pretty obvious once you get down to it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And also, supplies from the castle are allocated based on rank.
Well, do they have any sense of comparison, though, you know?
Could we see your supplies? That would give us a good idea of where you
I guess
fall
we've at this point
rank-wise.
seen a bunch of supplies, but...
Nico's on warehouse
You know.
detail. And I'm Nico. I'll get
Oh,
things
okay.
ready for your inspection.
I mean, it's a general rule of thumb, I suppose, but... Yeah, we might as well ask about all these.
You said nobody knows where your real flame clock is except the Consul.
Again, I just don't understand, because you usually see the essence flow straight towards it when you... in a lot of the fights around
How are we
cutscenes.
supposed to find it then?
Yeah, like, if they don't know it despite that, even if they don't fight that often, they do say they do fight. You know?
I don't suppose we could just ask the Consul?
Okay, now you're just being stupid. Let's be honest. It's a terrible plan.
Oh, come on! Why the huge sigh? I was just asking. Someone had to ask.
Well, it has to be somewhere, or the status quo wouldn't be maintained.
It has to be somewhere nearby, yeah,
If
is
you
my
fight,
thought.
the flame clock must fill up. Suppose you were to harvest a large pool of life in a short time.
Oh, it would flow into the real clock.
I don't think that's really a trial and error thing we should be doing
I'd
right
like to
now, though.
investigate any large-scale combat engagements you may have experienced. If we're lucky, someone may have witnessed some signs of the flame clock's operation.
Could we take a look into your past battle
I mean, we know there... I guess it's possible that there's like a stealth for Honest and Agnes. It's just everyone was always so caught off guard by the fact that the city had such impressive stealth abilities.
Of course.
You know?
I'll have them
That
delivered
made me
to
just
you.
think by default Agnes and Kepis didn't have those types of things.
If
You kind of
the
already
current
asked about the
flame clock
colony
is
rank,
fake,
but...
what happens when your rank goes up?
Oh,
As far as I know, I don't think that's ever happened.
For this colony? Because we know the ranks of other colonies have changed. If by 4 alone.
Wait, you're joking? You've always been
Yeah.
on the same level?
That's interesting.
Nico, that's me. Heard something from the Consul one time. She
Hmm.
said to tough it out and do exactly as instructed, and
Okay.
everything would be alright.
Oh?
I've still been wondering, are we ever going to
something
meet like a
else.
friendly Consul?
People only see what they want to see,
Oh,
I think it was.
one of those vague...
Meaning?
yeah.
Meaning, nobody actually wants to see how much is left on
Oh.
their clock, I guess.
Well, that's fair. I mean, if it runs out, you die. And if they don't fight until it goes low, then that's basically a timer of when the Consul's going to go send them out to fight.
Yeah. I mean,
Although
if
that's
you
also,
knew,
you know,
you'd just
you could
stress
just
out over
prepare.
it constantly.
Yeah, I would though, honestly.
A little more stress
Anxiety and all.
wouldn't go amiss in your case, Tallow, you turkin head.
Jeez.
What? Why'd you gotta call me names?
Yeah, it seems like Talos just kind of the punching bag of everyone.
Just cause.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, we don't know exactly what the Consul intended. But she must have had something in mind to go to these lengths rigging the contraption.
Okay.
You said the Consul was away. Do you know how long for?
Yeah. At this point, to me, it seems like we're just going to have to confront the Consul when they come back, which, you know,
Tell you bluntly,
depends.
we don't know either.
Oh, wonderful.
She's always disappearing, going off on one special mission or another.
In that case, she could be back at any time.
Or we could be waiting here for a short eternity,
Sorry
yeah.
that the answer isn't very useful.
Oh, it's okay, don't worry about it.
This all sounds like kind of a big deal. It doesn't bother you.
It's nothing special. We don't normally talk much about it.
She just sends us down broad stroke
Okay.
orders, like, go defeat those guys. Send a team to this location.
Yeah. The only time she spoke normally was that one time, wasn't it? You know, the time when Fiona became commander.
I still wonder how long ago that was.
Yuck. Do we have to talk about that?
Oh, was it that dramatic?
About what?
When the previous commander died, Fiona clung
Oh.
to the Consul's knees.
Of all the people, I guess to be fair, from their point of view at the time, the Consul was still probably their ally.
Started saying that the way we fought was making
Oh,
everyone
and she tried to
miserable.
convince. Yeah, that wouldn't have gone well with Mobius, let's be
Yeah,
honest.
It turned into a whole, like, debate. Until the Consul was like, fine then, you try and change it.
Oh,
And made Fiona the commander.
What?
that's
Just
kind
like
of funny.
that?
I know it was a twisted kind of punishment, but now I've got everyone else tangled up in this mess.
Well, we'll see.
Whatever.
It was kind
We
of a
know
mess
you just
before.
want the best for us, Fifi.
Makes you wonder though, is there still some kind of line of succession for commanders? Because we know, for example, like in Agnes, there's dual, officers, so I don't know exactly how that system is. But Noah trained under Colony 9's previous officer. That's the friend, the blonde person that he, talks about and we've seen in cutscenes. Is there some kind of similar line of succession for commanders? I mean,
Why
this
do you
would
think the
insinuate
Velvet's
not,
such a
but
tizzy?
we hear about, different commanders having inherited the title, become
That's
commanders.
why we want to support you in turn.
But I don't think we often hear about, like,
Better than you know.
were they the previous lieutenant? Was that the line,
Thanks, guys.
Just interesting stuff.
Punishing someone with a promotion? That's so bizarre.
It's Mobius, Noah. Like, they do bizarre things on the daily. Not that we don't. Alright, one more, destroying the flame clock.
So, this whole clock breaking thing's kind of a sudden development, yeah? I wanted to ask how you lot feel about all this.
Well, that's the thing, though, is like I was saying, by this point, it's long enough into the story. We've been doing this for enough, we've freed enough colonies.
We
Word's
know
probably
how
gotten around,
but are
you know.
all okay with what we're
And
about
they've
to
kind
do?
of seen the effects, I'm sure, for some of the other colonies.
Honestly, I just want Fiona to be able to relax. Like, not
Okay.
have to carry all this responsibility.
That's so kind of you.
Even if we do this, people will still die.
Yeah, but if they
Yeah.
do, it will be because of their own failure. That's not the same.
Oh, well,
She
yeah,
carries the
arguably.
banner for us, and it's because of us that it's so heavy.
But that weight's also the momentum that keeps her moving forward.
Genuinely, this character does remind me, like, being the gentle soul that uses the flag of Jean
I
from,
don't want us
Jean.
doing anything that
from
could sully the
Fate.
purity of Fiona's conscience.
One of my favorite characters from that franchise, too, actually.
All right, all right. Let's all take some deep breaths.
We're all friends here. Keep it civil.
I'm happy that you're so concerned for me. Thank you.
Well, I reckon things will work out one way or another. I mean, come
Things
on.
have a way of working
You've got
themselves
us on
out.
your side.
Doesn't mean you shouldn't put effort towards it, but
Yeah, you tell him, Lan.
I've found that sometimes just continually to, well, I overstress things all the time.
No one wants to
Doesn't
lose
always
their
help things.
mates. Just don't lose track of what matters, yeah?
Yeah. That hits especially hard given who's saying it, Because again, it's not like Yorin and Consul J is really not affected. Like Noah and Uni, but the one who's constantly agonizing over it is absolutely Lance.
I think we've more or less heard all we need.
Yeah, I think so too. It's time to get to work. Let's check out the loose threads we've uncovered.
We should investigate the supplies in the warehouse
Okay.
and the colony's battle record data. Is that right?
I mean, it'd be the biggest plot
We'll
twist
make
ever
sure
if this is
everyone
actually a
gives you
gold
their
rank or
full
silver rank colony,
cooperation.
but I
We'll also
really,
try looking around for
really,
anything we might have missed.
really
If
doubt it.
anything turns up, we'll be in touch.
Okay.
Good to add more names.
Alright, so... might as well go to the warehouse first because it's right here. I wonder if those were the two that passed.
I see some relations have changed.
Interesting. So they're gonna do it. Let me run around and see if I can find the canteen real quick. Because if this is going to be a, oh, let's see what's here too. If this is gonna be a conversation, we have to find the canteen eventually anyways, and that's where we'll discuss it, so. Lots of new things here. I really haven't been paying attention to what's, like, super good. I just, even with us randomly failing a few fights out here and there in an embarrassing way,
I see some relations have changed.
I just like letting that thing do its auto build. Just makes things so much faster than trying to theorize like an actual build that might not even be good, if we're being honest. Oh, is this the warehouse? Yeah, I thought Nico said she was the one that watched the house. But then why was the other one the battle information? I thought we were gonna go out to a previous battlefield. I guess that might have been one of the people they talked about because she noticed that those other two people promised they'd come back. So I guess that's what they were going for in terms of logic.
We could do with some food.
Yeah, might as well get the new recipe while we're here. Collective boost, okay.
I'll start, shall I?
Weird because I think the meals Manana makes don't have the exact same effect, but it's still, you know, free recipe that we don't have to travel to a canteen for. Oh, we only have 2 pages. Interesting. I still... the ones that don't have quests aren't important. I'm still wondering, though, why this one specifically says that it's for Riku and Manana. And it says I can't travel there. Well, I could try it again here in a sec. I wonder if it's because maybe I don't have that place unlocked. I really don't know. We didn't explore the city too much. Oh my gosh. He just ignores it. Anyway, I've looked into the combat records. Oh, that's really funny. The wastelessness, huh? No large swings in the flame clock total. Well, they mentioned like, oh, send this squad here and there. Maybe they just don't do a really big battlefield and they just do small fights. Leaks into the flame clock over. It's really hard to tell what's going on here. Seem to talk a whole lot of training or strategy, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a lot that's going on here in this colony that's very out of the normal. What's the residence colony? Oh. Still think I'm fighting as everyone. Yeah, I mean, that's how everyone, I think, has been to some extent, prior to just the appearance of Ouroboros in general. Only seeing what we want to see. Oh. I mean, we know Mobius is playing both sides of the war, you know? Like, it's not exactly as though that's something new, but... Interesting. That does make me wonder if it's a Consul that we've met before, though. Might not be the case, but if they're specifically talking about this one betraying them. Oh, well, there's that.
What's going on?
It's like back at Colony 4.
Yeah, we really
Another
haven't seen this whole
Mobius
full-on,
messing with us.
like, mind control thing in a while. Oh, they didn't even attack us, though.
Tallow? Hey, what's wrong with you?
It's weird to see
Sorry
that
about
effect
this,
on someone who
bud.
has red eyes to begin with.
Tallow!
Don't worry, he'll be all right. But now,
How many shots did you just fire before one of them hit that thing? Get that it's like a
Use
rapid fire
Consul.
weapon, but still. It's kind
it
of
was
funny.
you, wasn't it?
Oh, no way. What a twist. I actually didn't expect that. Huh. Explains why they disappear for a long time, so because they're there the entire time.
That's why nobody pays
That
any
makes...
mind.
Ah, that's actually a really
They'd
sad
rather
betrayal,
chase
though.
Pretty dreams.
Oh, no. What?
You really should have just stayed dreaming.
They turned the soldiers into the dogs? And I mean, those were the dog-like enemies that we fought with
Why would you do something like this?
Kevis.
When someone close to you gets hurt, you want to become stronger for them. That desire and sadness, they make for a quality flame.
Is that why you arranged the attack? Conspired with Keves, sacrificed
I mean,
all
the
those
voice
lives?
sounds familiar, but...
Without some hardship, humans don't come together. It was just the same
I
with
mean,
you.
I don't think we've seen anyone who had that specific power is the weird thing.
How could you put Fiona through this?
It's Mobius. And it's about the long and the short of it.
Perfectly well what I did.
I wonder if there's a way to change them back. Could be, could not be, you know.
But Fiona, she never once gave up.
Oh, did she actually move the Mobius
She wouldn't
member?
let the dream be all there was. That purity of purpose. It lifted everybody up. The need to support one another. She taught me that as well.
I see. Could it be?
Oh, well, ain't that nice? Learn this!
Okay, well, it lands... Yeah, I was gonna say, she's starting to hesitate. Maybe now isn't the time to attack.
What are you...
Don't hurt my friend! Even if she's bad, she's still my friend!
Fiona!
Hmm. Dang it.
Fiona, Lance!
I was even about to say this might be where she stabs her in the back. Complete betrayal moment, but I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to speak it into being.
Stand up. You can do better than this.
Hmm.
Please, get up. You'll do your best for the others, won't you? You'll do all that you can, and then some.
It hurts. I mean, I know it's intentional, but it hurts even more that she won't, like, transform into the Mobius.
By your side against whatever it is that's making you
Oh,
sad,
no.
Irma.
The
So
Mobius
please,
outfit, yeah.
stop calling it a dream.
Hey, don't disappoint me like that.
Hmm.
You've already made your choice. You chose what you wanted to see, and freely. Just how heavy is that banner? How many wives do you carry? Please, all of their hopes. You did say you'd shoulder them, didn't you? You said you'd never break her.
You said we'd be together forever.
Crying about it won't change the truth. The fact is, your friends are dead, and I'm the one who killed them.
Oh? It's almost like the Consul wants to be defeated at this point, you know? Maybe that's just my wishful thinking, but the way she's acting. I mean, she did say she'd moved her, but... Oh, they just transformed straight into that. I'm really wondering what this Consul in terms of like the actual Mobius outfit looks like, but they ugh. I just feel bad for Fiona at this point. But this console does seem a bit eccentric. Like, I mean, name what other console would have, regardless of what manipulation strategy they're going for and whatnot, would have made her the commander of the colony just for the reason that she did. Just very interesting. Ow. Interesting. Dondo's class seems like it does okay damage. It's not bad. Let's clear out all these wolves. Yeah, the way it made it sound is like once they're transformed into these, it's kind of just set in stone. Which makes it even more rough, because even if the Consul does regret it, like, it's not like, I mean, it's constant mention, like, we were part of this cycle and such, but we weren't so deeply ingrained into this strategy that, like, Mobius is the cause behind it, you know? We are just... Everyone on Agnes and Kevis, for the most part, with some potential, you know, exceptions, you know, they're basically just the victims of it. Because, like, sure, they could just say, we don't want to participate, but then you'd just die, and you'd be returned to the cycle without memories. It's really just one of those situations to me where... I wonder what her effect is. When chosen multiplies the... Oh, okay. Interesting. But even if this... Mobius Eye is that? Even if, you know, the Consul regrets what they've done, is there any turning back on it, you know? And I guess that's the logic too, and I've been wondering if there's maybe... Oh, I forgot healer heroes could finish the chain. But, you know, is... Maybe it just... I was wondering too, is there like a Mobius member that becomes a hero or something like that, or an ally even? Not counting what M did, which is a little bit different. But after all that they've done, is that really even possible, you know? Even if Mobius Eye here regrets what they've done, and they've really been touched by Fiona, and it's not just an act, there's not really any going back on it at this point, I'd say. Which is sad, but... Oh my gosh, that finished the chain, oops. Yeah, I still don't know if it's actually efficient to go for the double Ouroboros art, if you should go for a chain that... You know, you get like 3 or 4, and then you do 1 Ouroboros order. Either way, chain art's just, you know, it's where you get all your damage from. A lot of times you can heal off of it, like, it's just generally useful. Wonder if, though, maybe it's that regret that they'll make I tell us after the fight where the flame clock is, because knowing some of the Mobius members, they'd just spite us and then we'd have to go find it. Yeah, still didn't transform back into their armor.
You really shouldn't cry for me. Sorry. You were my friend. But I couldn't save you.
And we've met like gentle characters, but I don't think one so much as Fiona here.
You'll always be my
Oh.
Irma.
So to the very end, we never saw her in her actual like red Mobius armor. That's interesting. Oh, okay, that also works. That's what I was talking about, though. Just casually, how do you hide something like that?
Relations have changed.
I mean, that thing is massive. I wonder if, like... The weird thing is, too, you'd think they'd just happen to run into it at some point, you know? Even if it's invisible. But maybe that's just me. But... that is really tough. It really speaks to what type of person, you know, fictional character aside, Fiona is, that she could even move a member of Mobius. Obviously, that member of Mobius, again, was a bit of an eccentric, but it's kind of crazy. Oh, yeah, no, I guess it is floating over the ground. I didn't realize that.
I hope we can make use of this.
But it was right. That's crazy. It was right above the flower field the entire time. Point still stands, though. What if someone's just running around here throwing a rock around or something and it just bounced off that thing? I don't know why stuff like that always pops in my mind.
So this is where the flame clock was.
Bit of an insult, actually, that it's right over their memorial to everyone, too.
How did we never see it before?
Well, the entire point of this hero quest was like that we see what we want to see.
Look, I'm not great with words, but I wanted to say...
Please be trying to say something actually, like, sensitive.
I'm sure she was a complicated person, too.
I thought Lance was going to say something like, well, it was a member of Mobius.
I'll never forget what Irma did. I know I can never, ever forgive her. But if I'd never met her,
yeah,
I wouldn't be who I am today.
For better or for worse, the people we meet, the interactions and experiences we have are what make us who we are.
She's taught me a lot as well.
Just promise you won't
Oh,
suffer alone, all right?
Tallow was alive. That's
if
good.
things get too much to bear, you can always talk to me.
Tallow.
When he got transformed into one of the wolf familiars, I thought he was dead.
Or swear or call someone names, I'm your man. I'll get rid of all your worries. You can count on this Turkin head, okay?
Same old Tallow.
She woke me up, you know. Irma did. Made me watch you.
Oh.
I couldn't move, but I followed every word you said.
Perhaps she didn't want you to be alone.
But then, why? Why do something like that?
Because you actually moved a member of Mobius. Again, I really don't count M in that sense, because M, me at least from what I understood, it was kind of the product of like M and N had lived as Mio and Noah of other lives over and over and over, and then unable to kind of suffer through everything, N made the choice to become Mobius, and it kind of, to me, always felt like that just pulled M into it. But maybe that's just me.
I was supposed to be the Turkin head, not Irma.
I want to know about these Mobius people.
No, you do not. I'm sorry, Fiona, but like they are nothing but trouble.
I have to know what Irma was thinking.
And again, Irma, I mean, despite everything, Irma was despite everything they did, you have to, like, still on the better side of what some of the Mobius consuls have done. You know?
Will you let me fight by your side still?
Yeah, if you want to.
No reason to say
Could always use a new healer.
You're already our friend, Fifi.
Right after Tallow gave this heartfelt speech about, like, I'll be there for you. Yeah, she's gonna come travel with us. Sorry, man.
Don't ever forget how you're feeling right now. I think it'll keep you strong.
I wonder if it actually... I mean, I did guess Lance for who'd inherit the class, but... I don't know.
Yeah.
This is kind of a hard one to tell, because I would say he's the one who interacted with her the most, but...
I won't.
It's a healer class from Agnes, you know? Doesn't exactly, to me, feel like something that matches up well with Lance, but... who knows? Is that the end of the... oh.
Here we go.
I wonder if Mio keeps the half Ouroboros, half Mobius effect in her eye the entire time too. Because the fact that we can't change outfits makes me wonder, you know, once we progress the main story, how that... Oh, our warning level's up. How that affects things. But it is a really cool effect to see. And I actually really like the Consul M outfit, if I'm being honest.
I'll do my very best.
Signifer.
Oh no. Oh no.
Was that... Oh no. It was. Okay. So... Okay. So scratch the whole, maybe it's just someone from Agnes or Kevis inheriting the same sides, but... Interesting. If I had a full... I mean, I could... Eventually I might just look up an entire list of, like, who was the actual inheritor for each class, and then that could kind of show, because for all I know, maybe it's the exception that proves the rule. I mean, I should remember who's inherited every class, but I don't remember. Just a random buffing class, interesting. Good thing Lane's already on a healer, that makes it a little bit easier to do that. But... Again, I remember looking at it, and I genuinely couldn't remember. I mean, I know... So obviously we had Senna, but she's from the city. We had... Now it's Lance. Lost Vanguard was... Uni? Well, also from the city. But like here in Cursor was Tyon, they're from the same side. Both from Agnes. Same thing with Ashir and Uni. I mean... Juniper was a bit of a weird one because they were an abandoned colony. But Strategios was Tyon. You know, like... Thaumaturge was Mio, I believe. Youngsmith was always with us. Gray's from the city. But Guardian Commander was... I don't remember. Who's Valdi? Yeah, see, like, I should remember these types of things. I don't. But, you know. Either way. Might as well have her run along with us.
I'll try.
Until we go into that other one. Because I'm like... Yeah, we should have the other hero quest here, though. That was an interesting one. A bit sad. Wasn't actually expecting that to be that sad. But, oh my gosh. This is the other one that was, that started a cutscene, though, immediately. And like I said, I saved right before I ran up to each of the question marks in this area. And immediately backed out if it started a cutscene. Because every hero quest does, so, oh. This one started upon Fast Route, that's interesting.
What's it doing here?
Doesn't look like it's after us, somehow.
I'm still wondering if this is going to be a Kavesi colony. Because they, I mean, obviously there were Kavesi attacking Agnes, but at the same time, I don't know if it makes sense.
Give it a rest, Lance.
We're idiots, please shoot us.
So,
But,
what's the plan? Noah?
so close to Agnes Castle, I actually don't think it makes sense. It might have just been an invasive Kavesi force, because we're literally right next to Agnes Castle.
They might not be too happy to see us, though.
We'd be lucky if that was all.
Yeah, you never know.
Consuls, or rather Mobius, could be there too.
True. Which is why, whether we follow them or not, we need to think carefully.
Well, this is probably hero quests, so we're definitely following them. I don't know what you want from me, Noah.
I see some relations have changed.
Alright, where are we going? Okay. Should I just teleport, like, right here? Wait. Oh, that's the... I'm an idiot. That's the main story. Okay. Northwest. Oh, it didn't even mark it as a quest yet. That's interesting. Alright, then on to the ship. Yeah, it's interesting because I was always under the impression that every Ferronis was movable, but then half the ones we see don't move at all, you know? And they're basically more just like a stationary ground base for the colony. Wait, is this on that island? Oh my gosh. No, I just passed it because I'm stupid. Okay. That you could like mark question marks. The question marks genuinely on the minimap look really weird too. Unless you're right on top of them, they just show up on the edge of the circle. I think I get on this island, no? It's... we should be able to do is do this and then... yeah, okay. Oh, yeah. But see, that's what I'm talking about, is we can see it right here in our vision. On the minimap, it's still appearing on the edge until right now. Like, it makes the minimap incredibly unhelpful for finding these question marks.
There.
Oh,
Is that... Didn't we see that for
wonderful.
before? At Ishan Isle?
So then, that means Mobius might be over there.
Yeah, that in a colony.
They could attack us at any time. Let's proceed with caution.
I mean, arguably the answer is to not proceed at all here, but sure.
Ha!
Oh,
Visitors, eh?
that was fast. Oh my gosh. No, time to throw down. That is a weird looking arm. Oh, that's a fish. I thought that was I thought that was its arm. Weird to see a Mobius member fishing. Hmm.
What an impulsive pair ye two make.
What?
Anyway, cool your heads and have some grub with me.
What?
Grub?
Hold the phone. We were just talking about with that last quest with Consul I being actually moved. If there was a recruitable hero that would be a member of Mobius. You're joking, right? I mean, there's only one way to find out, but like,
You need food if you want energy.
you're joking, right?
Don't go telling me you don't eat.
Unless this is a... what, are you gonna poison us?
Yeah, get real. What's this deal?
There's no way, right?
But you're all skin and bones.
Oh my
bloody
gosh.
Right, laddie?
All right, steady
Oh
on.
my gosh.
Anyhow, I'm not even hungry.
Hmm. No concept of
I'll
personal
go your
space, I
heads
see.
off, pipsqueaks.
Hmm. There's... I refuse to believe it. This is maybe just a friendly Consul. We're getting another commander. But...
Don't just stand there.
why would we follow you? You're clearly a member of Mobius. We've been at war with you for like 50 hours of gameplay.
What do we do?
I guess we can't just ignore him.
I beg to differ. This is how you walk straight into a trap.
I do love the sea, so I'm taking this thing on a trip.
Mobius? On a trip?
Of course, a man's life
Yeah.
is a long journey. Walk your path without a destination, and you'll get little
Okay.
encounters like this one.
Yeah, if you think we're gonna trust a Mobius,
Yeah,
you're off your rocker, man.
It would be a, you know, they've done some pretty unique heroes. It would be unique, but I refuse to believe it.
Sounds like you're an awful pickle and no mistake. What a disaster for ye. But you see, Mobius I may be, but
Yeah.
I don't got any orders. remember
How is that
me.
possible? Triton. Okay, so if there's a Mobius T though, because this one's name is Triton, that does discount the theory that I've been wondering this entire time at all. If Tyon, Uni, Senna and Tyon, Uni, Senna, oh, and Land, sorry, have a Mobius form, which again, there was a very specific reason for Yorin as well as N and M, the Noah and Mio form. But I've been wondering this entire time because we hadn't met, like, I didn't think of Mobius L, T, E, or, E until this point, but this, if the name's Triton, it's a Mobius T, which means, at the very least, it's not a possibility for a Tyon, you know?
I'm a free agent, says I.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, there are
Hmm.
things on the sea so tasty they'll make
This
you
is...
weep, along with some
Huh.
gigantic monsters. so I arranged for them to be here. Things you landlubbers would
Your
never
sailor.
dream of.
I mean, members of Mobius are... We've seen quite a few that are pretty
You mean you're
aged.
mixing
Might be
the
like an
colony
old
up
sailor. I'm
Just
just...
so you can have a bit of fun.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
right. I just love watching the sea from a Piranha's, truth be told. Therefore, free agent that I be,
Colony
I
50.
work as
It is a
Consul
Kavesi colony.
with a spot of moonlighting as the
I was so
command.
confused, but then the way... With the way Triton talks... Oh. A Mobius command... What? This is a first too. Mobius is never the commander. It's always somebody from that actual side of the war. Why? That makes me think this has to be the hero. Because it's almost always the commander of the colony, but that's crazy. But the fact that it's Colony 15 and not like a Greek letter means this is a Kavesi colony. But the way Triton speaks and acts, it does... I don't think Colony 15 would have been the one that was attacking Colony Mu. Which is just interesting. And it's also still a Kavesi colony, very close
The other Mobius
to
tell me
Agnes,
rubbish like
Agnes
your
Castle.
name is T.
Hmm.
Perhaps it's fate I met
Yeah, it
up
is
with
T.
you lot. So if you please, you can call
Captain
me
Triton,
Captain
huh?
Triton.
Somebody tell me what's happening?
Yeah, I'm having a really hard time wrapping my head around. It's unique. A member of Mobius not only being the commander, but I'm assuming the hero, because Triton is the
Captain
commander, but that's
Triton.
wild.
I get what you're saying. I do.
Hmm.
But
Noah, you ain't humouring this windbag.
Like, I can't blame any... If anything, I blame Noah for potentially trusting this guy.
His crazy, reckless schemes will
Oh
be
my
friends
gosh.
dead, smashed to pieces.
And what? Once I get an idea, I have to put it in
Oh,
motion.
gosh.
Otherwise, nothing around here would happen.
In a state of wartime,
He might be
nothing
lucky
happening...
luck, but he can smash a big
Oh my
horse and
gosh.
clear into next year.
But in a state of wartime, nothing happening is actually potentially a good thing for them.
Well, I like a good challenge. So we spend a chunk of time going around it. Wait, who you calling up?
Jeez. This character would be super likable if they weren't running around wearing Mobius
Whether
armor.
they're in the sea or the sky,
You know?
find big nasties and biff them up good.
Right. Gotcha.
You know, Mio saying that makes me laugh.
Called me ugly.
Look, Mia,
Hmm.
we're better off keeping away from this lot. You can't be best pals with a Mobius.
Come now, young buck. You only just arrived. Fancy a little contest.
I mean, from their perspective too, maybe Triton's just trying to get their guard down and hold us here until other members
The
get here.
wind
Who
brings
knows?
me a couple of rumors,
But obviously we
such
know
as
it's...
all of ye
This
being
has to be the
pretty
new hero.
capable.
I cannot imagine that it's... I was sitting here thinking about the start, I was like, oh, okay, maybe we're just gonna run into another commander, and this is just a semi-friendly Consul that's maybe deceiving us or something, but nope, if Triton's actually the commander, that's... Wow.
Seeing fellow warriors always gets me fired up. So, it be contest time.
What
What
is
are
the
you
contest
on
gonna
about?
be?
No
Who can
way
win
I'm
the
doing
fight?
that.
Scared, eh?
Well, how did you know exactly what's gonna
Hey.
make Lance mad? Yeah.
Aye, you're lily livers.
Hmm.
Guess Ouroboros just run away with their tails between their legs. That right? Ha!
Jeez.
Lily livers.
Oh my gosh.
Who are you calling lily-livered?
Just that frown.
Just leave it, Lance.
Oh my
You're wasting
gosh.
your time bothering with someone like him.
Must be nice for you, leaving one foot out the door so the sparks won't fall on you when there's
I
trouble.
just...
You're frightened of getting knocked down, so you're making out like you're warning him.
Oh my gosh.
You trying to save face or something? Be you so scared of Mobius?
I mean, we've almost been killed by
Lily Liver,
Mobius
my name's not
like
Captain
20
Triton.
times.
I'll give you lily-livered.
Hey, settle then. Been looking for someone hot.
Oh my
blooded.
gosh.
Happy? Make the preparations.
Hmm.
Men of the sea.
Triple challenge, huh?
Triple challenge.
By power vested in Appy, Appy will now explain rules of contest.
Huh? You mean we're actually going through with this?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Rules are simple. In vicinity of Colony 15, there are
Oh,
3
okay.
islands. each island have specific challenge. Team that solves challenge fastest wins points.
Wonder if there's actually be a time limit on it, or if it's just like, oh, okay, it's a quest, and if you do it, you were first.
Simple. I totally thought this was going to be a big punch-up.
So did I, actually.
Where's your sense of romance?
Oh, romance.
No contest in a straight-up fist fight.
No romance in being a member of Mobius unless you're N&M and you're just star-crossed lovers.
For friends' informations, Colony 15 soldiers wait on each island to observe contest. Contest teams are all of Friends team versus the captain and 3 others.
I mean, there are...
So we have a
If we have a hero, yeah, it's 7, 6 at the minimum.
We be guests, you see. I'll accept
Oh,
a
okay.
handicap by way of hospitality.
Oh, are you having a laugh?
Ignore it. He's just
Yeah.
provoking you.
A man doesn't go back on his word. Now
This is
then, all of you, get
really
to
weird.
it.
Friends prepared? First challenge.
Ishan Isle.
Ishan Isle.
Yeah, at least we can teleport there then.
To find out more. Let contest begin.
That is doing it my way. Yeah. It's definitely... What?
What kind of place is this?
The number of times this game has just blindsided me with stuff like this is wild, but like, really? A Mobius member? Even if it's one that doesn't seem to have a whole lot of loyalty to Mobius, that is...
Good to add more names. I hope we can make use of this.
Yeah, that's... Can't say that's what I've been thinking. I mean, I've looked really closely at the outlines. This is obviously Triton. But, this looks like just a normal person. This is the one that I was talking about that looks exactly like Kamaravi. I have no idea what the heck this is. Like, couldn't tell you. But it makes me wonder how close we're nearing to the end of the game, because story-wise, we still have quite a few, like I was saying, consoles to deal with. But these chapters have been really, really long, so for all I know, 6 might be the last chapter, and we just deal with everything in one chapter. But at the very least, we know Zed, Yor, and, you know, potentially a few others in terms of Mobius to deal with, as well as finding the queens and everything. So I doubt it's going to end in chapter 6, but I don't know. But like I was saying, I mean, this really does make me think we get Kamaravi, which if we get Kamaravi at some point, that makes me think we get Ethel back, which is, it's about dang time. First hero we recruited, lost her like immediately, haven't had her since, and it's like 4+ chapters later and like 40 hours of gameplay plus. Kind of funny. Yeah, I would have no idea who this is, and I have no idea what this is. Just interesting stuff. Makes me wonder though, do we just like recruit all 3 of those remaining heroes plus Triton, and that's when we finally get to start getting the quest to raise hero rank? Because I've been wondering this entire time. I mean, maybe it's through the side quests I haven't been doing, because some of them require heroes, but seriously. The Brawny Depot. It's not like we have everyone at rank 10 on every class now anyways. That's the point that I'd really start to be like, okay, maybe I need to look this up. But so long as we have classes to work on everyone, it's fine. Although there's not that many tank classes. That's the big thing that I've mentioned before. We've gotten to the point where everyone's like maxing out their tank classes, so the 2 people on tanks are probably going to be wasting CP, which is fine. You know, still 4 characters that are rotating in to get ranks on healers and attackers. Oh, okay. You know, I've been wondering this entire time when it comes to enemies on sea. Can I throw rocks when I'm in the ocean? Oh, I can. Okay. I'm assuming I just have to lure them back to shore. That's what I've been wondering though. Is there's some decently leveled enemies though in the middle of the ocean? It's quite a different character. But I actually really like this class of Shears. But I've been wondering for some time if I wanted to fight like those level, like say 62 enemies, which would be 4 levels above, would probably be a good class in CP and like XP and Inheritance. Would I literally have to go provoke one and lead it all the way back to an island? Because that would take a really long time. But potentially that's really good XP, you know? Alright. At least none of them look to be too far off island, but... I still can't wrap my head around, like... We're like 10, 15 minutes into this hero quest and I still can't figure out, like... I really didn't expect a Mobius member to be playable in any aspect, honestly. Because I really don't count what's going on with Mio/M right now. Oh, now that I think about it, we should try... I just looked up Fiona. Before we get the new class, I guess we should try out hers. So, share own buffs. Okay. 1 random buff, field regenerate. Cry of Faith or Ult is 2 random buffs. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. For this class, that almost makes me wonder if I should try and if there's any fusion arts that also give buffs. Because, for example, if I have... It looks like the 2 random buffs charges up pretty slowly. But that makes me think rotation is give myself a random buff and then share that buff with everyone. Assuming that the, 1 random buff doesn't already give it to everyone in a small area. But this hero... That already, though, makes me think that this is going to be the type of hero Fiona's class, the Signifer, is something that I won't play, but potentially could be really good to have on the team, you know? Not the biggest fan of, The downside is it's another healing class, quote-unquote, that only has 1 healing skill, which is why I didn't like Thaumaturge. But Thaumaturge was also trying to split itself between being like an attacker and a healer, whereas this class is just a buffer healer, you know? It'll also depend, I guess, on what like the list of buffs you can get are, you know? Because that could also heavily affect things. But that's really interesting. Makes sense, though, you know, with the whole banner, flag aspect and everything. You know, thematically, it makes a lot of sense. But, wow. Right, come on, fishy. Fishy? I need you to come over here. Fishy. Can I throw another rock? Imagine somebody just doing a challenge where you're trying to kill, like, a unique enemy or something like that with just rocks. It wouldn't even be a challenge, it'd just be tedious, but it's pretty funny. Alright, come on. I think I got stuck on the rock there. Here we go. I don't think we can reach it. Okay, no, we're good. I'm not, but... Come on. Just close enough. There we go. See, wave the flag around, give a random buff. Yeah, that's really interesting. I think what will make this class good or bad literally depends on what buffs it gives out, you know? I mean, you can see on the left hand of the screen, we're getting a ton of buffs, so that's kind of crazy. I think we just would want to pair it then with a really, really healing-centric healer class. Yeah, I don't mind the class. Because, yeah, I don't think it'll be a class I play myself, but... And I do like the design-wise of the flag and stuff.
I saw it all. Maybe you aren't such landlubbers.
I mean, we literally brought the ocean enemy to land, but... You know, that's semantics. Do they just get here, or they also do the challenge? He's
late,
super tired.
I'm afraid that means you lose.
Looks like you're all mouth and no trousers, eh, Captain?
It's kind of funny.
You're knackered. Who's taking the handicap?
The downside here is, why do I feel like Lance is going to be the one to inherit this class and we're going to have a uni situation all over again? Where we have 2 classes that need to be inherited by everyone except 1 person. Which would mean we're either forced to run Triton or we're forced to run Fiona, while Lance runs the other class.
I must have ate a bad shrimp or something. That be all.
Is it going to be a best 2 out of 3, or do we have to just win all 3? It being a game makes me think we have to win all 3, but... Okay. But it being a contest would make you think 2 out of 3. That's funny.
This was a nice
Good old uni. I really do love uni. Like, the reason I love... Like I've mentioned, my favorite characters, they're all for a reason, you know? I like all of the main 6, don't get me wrong. But, like, the reason why I like Ethel is I love the design. Reminds me a lot of Selvaria Bless from Valkyria Chronicles. Really love that game. I just like Mio because personality-wise, she's gentle, not in the same way as Fiona is, obviously, but there's just something about, I've mentioned it before, Mio just always makes me smile, you know? I like Noah just because Noah's, I mean, kind of a stereotypical, you know, like, protagonist meme, but not a bad character, you know? The type of character that's conflicted but always tries to do the right thing. And then, But Uni, I just like Uni because Uni's really sassy in a funny way. It's just, like, if Mio makes me smile because of how gentle and, like, lovable Mio is, Uni makes me smile because of just the comedy. Oh my gosh. Why are you acting like that? We're the ones who's kicking his butt. It's so funny. Lance does it in the same way sometimes, but... And I guess to be fair, Senna's also one of those, like, just sweet, lovable characters too. Like I said, I like the main 6 party. There's not a single member. Tyon did take some time at the beginning to grow on me, but there's no member of the main 6 that I don't like. You know? Which it's the polar opposite. I've always talked about how they tend to make members of Mobius very easily unlikable, which is always a good thing, I think, for a villain. Unless you're going for the conflictive, like, do I even want to defeat this person type of vibe? But on the other hand, you know, I think the heroes are all very likable, and that's good because they're the ones we're supposed to be supporting. When your hero's not likable, it becomes very hard to play the game. Alrighty, what's the next challenge? Men of the Sea booty calls. I know it's not what it's referring to, but like, come on. Bring me some high quality booty and I'll judge it. The most valuable booty on the island. I don't want to be the one to say it. But, oh, we have to go to a campsite. I don't want to be the one to say it. But, like, if we're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk about high quality booty. Sorry. I really... I was sitting there, I was like, don't say it. I had to say it. I do wonder, though, like, we can't change Mio's outfit right now. Seriously, though, what happens? There's got to be a campsite here, I'm assuming. But for the sake of, speed, I'm just gonna fast travel here, then fast travel back. I'm sure we'll run into it as we explore the island for whatever this mission is, but...
I've been craving some downtime.
To be fair as well, this whole booty thing, it's funny that we skipped this quest, because if we'd done these 2 hero quests before we went into Agnes Castle, I could have made that joke. But like, come on.
Hey, so can we talk?
Oh, it's treasure. I'm so sorry. Oh, just... thoughts like that always pop in my head. I'm like, man, I am really immature, aren't I? Handful of rocks. I mean, we've searched for gemstones for Riku before. Food so delicious. Yeah, treasure, I suppose, is objective. Why don't we just collect everything, yeah? Maybe it is the best 2 out of 3, though, and we just lose this one. I didn't think about that, but... if we don't even know what it is we're looking for. That was a cute little scene. I would have looked at that for a second longer if I hadn't been mashing B, but... that little scene of those 2 playing flute together happily. Because seriously, though, it's like the goal of this entire game is just traumatize our favorite characters. I mean, the one benefit to being over-leveled for this series, we're clearly not aggroing this stuff, so... what was that? Oh. So we can just run straight towards these things. I mean, the downside is it's going to take forever to inherit Fiona's class on anyone else. And, one thing I didn't realize until I was looking at this, too, was I was looking at this. It has that rank in the top right, and I think that also affects the rate at which people get him. Because, for example, Noah's, like, the last one to inherit in Cursor, and he has a D. But that's C, you know, A, S. Well, he started with it, but, like, S, B, and B. So it makes sense, you know, because there's not even a C rank, so he's the lowest on in Cursor by 2 ranks. That is a level... oh my... oh, we're so dead. I didn't even see that. I'm so sorry. Let me at least collect this before you murder me. I can't even change... What? Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even see that. But let's play lands for at least the foreseeable future. I think we've genuinely... I've already kind of... Aside from figuring out, again, what buffs it is actually that we get from the Signifer class. Is there a faster travel point up to here? This is a good ways away. Where's the other one? Grab this first. Aside from figuring out what exactly buffs it is as far as a range we can get, because it does say random buffs, so you would assume it pulls from a specific pool. But aside from figuring out what buffs it is, I mean, Fiona's class is pretty self-explanatory. Not really I need to play it to get the feel out type of thing. Yeah, like I was saying, I think I actually will use it. I'm like trying to piece together, and I don't know still if it's best in the end game. I know they're adding a challenge mode in like the second wave of DLC when that comes out. Similar to what's in 2. Maybe it might not even be best, you know? It depends on what hero you run, I'm sure, but maybe it's not best to run 2 defenders, 2 attackers, 2 healers in the main party, and then just whatever hero like I'm doing. But assuming we're going to keep that pattern, so far the team I built in my mind are Zephyr tank, a Shearer's class tank, Signifer, 1 main healer class, since Signifer's a little bit less of a healer, but also gives the buffs, and then 2 preferred attackers. Might not, I mean, I'm sure that's not the most meta thing in the world, but it seems like a pretty functional team. As for what the other main healer and the attackers were, I couldn't tell you yet. I think it'd really depend on synergy. We'd want to make sure we have like a break, topple, launch, you know, all that stuff. Which most attackers have a break. I know we can also change around arts in the existing classes and such, but just off the top of my head, you know, Signifer actually seems to slot really well into a team. Assuming, of course, again, I'm repeating myself like a broken record here, but depending on what the buffs are. If the buffs aren't good, then I'll just use another healer, but classes I can say for certain I won't be using. Oh, is this gonna kill me? Oh, that was a little bit too close for comfort. I know we won't be using Thaumaturge, so, and I know we won't be using Juniper's class. We're back with the booty. We had it with us technically the entire time. I'm so sorry. But I mean, I'm not wrong. Like, you know. Booty of the... We have... I can't. They just go. Fossil amber I really doubt it's the coconut. You know what? I'm gonna pick the coconut anyways. I'd argue that's the least of the 3.
We're gonna pick...
Hold it there, me hearty.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be best 2 out of 3 though, given what we found.
Ah, Captain.
Booty you asked for, and booty you shall receive.
What are you offering, Triton?
Hey, we were first. Get in line.
Settle down, settle down. We're not concerned with who came first in this one. You can both
Yep,
go at the
we'll
same
go at the same time. We raise you 1 coconut.
Fine by me.
What did you bring?
This is...
Could you possibly have brought something better than the coconut?
Booty.
What?
Oh, can't believe you both brought the same thing.
You also thought a coconut was the...
Leave it.
No way.
Yum coconut blast off taste buds and most are faced with its deliciousness.
That is hysterical.
See, this girl knows what she's talking about. It's tasty. It's huge.
They really aren't making this any easier on me. I keep trying to like... It's like one of those things that just sticks in the back of your mind. I'm just like, stop saying it. It's so immature, but it just... It's tasty. It's huge. Oh my gosh.
Both sides brought the same thing. What happens now?
Jeez.
Looks like we have a draw. I can't give either of you the point if you bring the same thing.
You best be looking carefully now, Lukavu. Surely you can
Oh my
see
gosh.
mine be way bigger
A coconut is a coconut. I'm not gonna play favorites just because you're the captain,
It really makes you wonder, though. I'm sure it would have just mirrored, based on the way they're talking, whatever we brought. But the fact that we chose the coconut for the meme, and just, like, we could be talking about, like, oh yeah, the fossil or the amber, you know, these are, like, really cool-looking things. But we're talking about a coconut.
Ah, just stow it. Fine.
On
to the next one.
Let's...
We'll settle things on Cape
Oh my
Armor.
gosh.
Mark.
Well,
I'm
technically...
not sure I can keep up with that energy of his.
Yeah.
It is a bit much.
Mm. Oh my gosh. That is too funny. Like, it just... what makes me laugh the most... There's a... Oh, it's an island we haven't discovered. But the best part about all this is that genuinely... This was supposed to be a quest before we did Agnes Castle. So again, I shouldn't have been able to make these jokes in the first place. If I'd done things in the right order. It's the fact that I was inefficient and had to come back to this area that I am just getting this sheer gold. Oh my gosh. That is, like, actually the best thing I've ever seen in the history of ever. It's so funny. A lot of random resources here. Oh hey, enemies actually within 5 levels of us. That could be good to kind of run around this island then, until we level up, obviously. Because it's 4 levels lower. Just so we can inherit the class. Because at this point, I'm like 99% certain. I guess I didn't outright state it, but obviously my guess for Triton is Lance as well. But then we're going to have another situation with Uni. I wonder why they chose it. Maybe it was intentional. Maybe it was just one of those like happenstance things. But again, it was so irritating trying to juggle like the fact that we had 2 classes only on Uni for a while. And it looks like it's just going to be the case with Lanes here. It's weird too because like, is he like Triton's obviously a bit of an eccentric, so he's really going to let us just destroy the flame clock? We might not even have to fight, you know, Triton because of what's going on here. Who's Sour? I don't know if I'd be laughing about, so yeah, someone eating up your friend. Who's gonna do this next part? Oh, okay. Track down a certain monster. Okay. I wonder if this is where we get to fight alongside... Not every hero quest have we actually fought alongside, you know? Fought alongside someone. In terms of like the hero, sorry, not someone. The hero that we get there. But... left or right? Eh. Let's go on the right way. Oh, this island's got some decently leveled enemies. That's actually encouraging. It means we might have to fight some extra battles here, but... It does mean I have foreseeably a decent area to get some more class inheritance off stream. Oh. Because I am planning on, as of right now, we've gone for almost 2 hours just doing these 2 hero quests. They're both pretty lengthy, honestly. So I think we'll just do a few side quests and then maybe call it after that, but still. Oh, it looks like it maybe transfers field regenerate over with the share buffs. I can't tell. You do seem to generate the one random buff on this pretty fast. It is an Agnian class, so it's based off of auto attacks, but... Oh. Interesting. I wonder if there's... multiple... quote-unquote monsters here, since there were 2 sets of tracks. Because they said one specific monster, you know?
We've been spotted.
Just makes you wonder. Ow. I swear I thought I had the accessory on at least one tank that you start with aggro, but I have been auto-building, so that might not be the case anymore. Yeah, accuracy up is one. I don't think missing tends to be a super big issue. Alright, fast recharge. Fast recharge, actually, yeah. No, this class is... I mean, worst comes to worst if we have to run, like, again, a main healer like I was thinking, plus this for healing plus buffs with only 1 healing skill. Maybe we run a healer hero, but having these buffs that we can share, like fast recharge and stuff, that seems, like, crazy good. I am not seeing the footprints unless that's the monster right there we're looking after. It's got an exclamation point. Let's fight it and see if that's it. Yeah, part of what I think makes this class seem really nice, debuff barrier, interesting. Yeah, like this seems really, really good. Arguably, it's a little bit of RNG because it's random, but... And you have to consider, we haven't even had to use, what's it called, Cry of Faith yet. We potentially get a ton of buffs. Wow, no, it just got demolished. But it's potentially, like, really, really good. Like, I actually really like the idea of Signifer. Is it Signifer or Signifier? I could just be pronouncing it wrong. That was not the enemy we were looking for, apparently. But I don't see the footprints.
I think I could stare at that forever.
What? I guess we go back down here. I mean, the exclamation point on this is obviously not 100% accurate because it's tracking like... Never mind. Nope, I'm just dumb. I was about to say, I mean, when we were on that island, it didn't move, but...
Not to worry, just stick to the plan.
57. Yeah, this is I'm surprised I didn't find this island. I basically just sailed around. You can kind of tell by my map. I just sailed in a bunch of lines. Tried to find some stuff. But, Interesting. I'm wondering what Triton's weapon is, actually. Because thus far, we haven't actually seen Triton fight. And the only thing we've seen him carrying is the fish. So, I somehow doubt... I mean, Genshin Impact uses a fish as a weapon, but I kind of doubt that's it, you know? Just a thought. Could be funny. But I kind of doubt it. I actually was curious too. So I'm getting sidetracked. What's everyone's... Okay, so Noah's gonna be... Oh, he finally got an Incursor though. That means I think we have Incursor on everyone. And it's Lost Vanguard that we're missing on a bunch of characters. Or I think like 2. So he's not gonna get Signifer. It is Signif... Or if it was Signifier, it would probably have an I between the F and the E there. So I'm just gonna keep saying that. Okay, so D on Noah, A on Mio. Okay, should get it pretty fast. B on Uni, B on Tide. It's interesting that the 2 original healers here have less synergy with it than Mio. Although personality-wise, Fiona is probably closest to Mio. Maybe that's it. S on him, but that's because he's the one who starts with it. I think it's always S on whoever. Now that I think about it, and C on her. Okay, I could probably tell who inherited each class just by... Is she the one who inherited Youngsmith? By who has S on it, huh? Because I'm pretty sure S is literally who started with it. Like, what's an example? Lance also got... Wait. Valdi, did he get Valdi's? I couldn't remember. But, like, Tyon got Incursor. Tyon got Strategy. Okay, yeah, that's probably what it is. I feel kind of dumb not realizing that, but... That makes a lot of sense. So, did we follow the wrong set of tracks?
Ahoy, guests. What's up?
Your friend was wondering why you were shirking on your responsibility.
That's what's up.
That's no good, friends. You're supposed to be taking down that monster.
No, you did not.
Oh, did I explain that to you already?
No, you'd scuttled off somewhere, so we had to get the deets from someone else.
Well, that's no good then, is it? If you waste time here, you're gonna lose.
We followed the
Thanks.
tracks here, you numpty.
We got more tracks here.
Oh yeah, no, they just happen to... These giant glowing tracks, they're just here, by the way.
Oh my. We better follow these then.
Oh my gosh.
Good luck, friends. You best not hang about, or the captain will sail ahead.
Okay. It's interesting that he has the wings on his head, but they're a different color too. I mean, that's been, like, a theme, though. You know, like, Uni talks about how, like, Snow White the wings on the Queen are. Hers are pretty fluffy looking too, but... Wondering if I'm gonna get a landmark in this island. Do we have one yet? We did when we first got on. I didn't even realize. I'm just keeping that in mind because this is probably... With us just doing this and then maybe some side quests this stream, I'm gonna need some place to inherit these classes if I want to, off stream. Just kind of lets me play whatever I want on stream, you know? Huh. I was kind of thinking... It isn't unique. I was kind of thinking maybe... You know, this would be, where, you know, we actually got to fight alongside our new hero. but it doesn't appear to be the case. Evasion up's really, like, not, some of these buffs are like somewhat situational, but a lot of them are just generally helpful. Like, wow. Even if this class isn't like S tier, overall, like, it's just a very good utility class. I mean, you can see how many buffs we're getting on our characters on the left there. Like, that's crazy. Again, the one downside is our lack of, you know, counter heal. Wow. I mean, the one downside is just that, you know, a lack of healing. We just have this heal harmony thing. And then as far as, like, changing out their arts, too, I haven't worried about that, like I was saying, a whole lot. But with the way this class works, I don't think you'd want to change this out. You'd want to keep one healing skill, your double buff abilities, and then the ability to share the buffs is what I think is going to drive this class over the edge. So, you know, there's other classes, especially the attackers, I think you can get away with it, but not in this case. Charges chain attack gauge and grants power charge to all weapons. Chain attack gauge. As in the gauge we need to chain attack? What, does that just let us infinite? There's no way, right? I must be misunderstanding this. Charges chain attack gauge makes me think it literally charges the... I mean, we'll try it. The bar we need to, you know... Maybe it just gives us some charge once we get out of chain attack. Because if it was literally like, oh yeah, you chain attack, and if you've done this, it charges the gauge entirely again. It must just give you a little bit of start, which is still helpful, you know? Especially in story boss fights, and a lot of, like, outworld uniques, you're going to need multiple chain attacks if you're not incredibly over-leveled, so... Interesting. I've also been realizing, too, on these earlier chains, you don't always want to go just barely over 100 if you can, so you can maybe get a second character back. I don't know... I know the breakpoint for getting the most out of it is 200% now. I think it might be 150 to get 2 characters back. I mean, we don't need a Ouroboros chain here either. I'm not going to pay too much attention to what we use. Yeah. I wonder... I mean... I don't think Lance had any buffs there that everyone didn't already have. Yeah, it didn't. I'm just wondering. If I were to use, say, Lance here in multiple chains, like going into Ouroboros, or using him to be the one that resets, could I, during the chain, also apply extra buffs? Like use him once to get a random buff, and then a second time to share that buff? I don't think it'd be the most necessary thing to do in a chain attack, but just one of those little interactions I wonder. It doesn't look like we're going to be getting... That's fine. It's interesting too, like they even changed Mio's hair to long in the this chain attack screen. Just really, really cool stuff. That like attention to detail, oops. I really, really like. Oh, no, Mio apparently, okay. It's incredibly unnecessary to go for an Ouroboros chain here, but I'm going to anyways. Hopefully Tyon doesn't finish this here. I was trying to think of how I could get the most tactical points just for fun out of this, but if I use both... If I used both Tyon and Fiona here, I'm pretty sure it goes over 100%. I mean, it's 24%, and Fiona had 15 base, but most of the time, it's... you know, more than 15. It would be betting whether or not that 9% would go over. Again, though, completely unnecessary because we'd already defeated the enemy. But... I still don't really know how much more benefit you get out of overkilling things. The way I see it... I probably should have done one random buff there. The way I see it is it can't hurt anything. But, like... except for, you know, wasting time. Because I could have just ended the chain attack 2 chains ago. But I don't know how much overkilling does for you. I know we get the XP bonus there as well, I suppose, but I'm really not worried about XP. I'm assuming this is like 2, Where, like, especially when the challenge mode comes out, there's probably enemies over level 100. But we probably go up to a max of 99, at which point it literally, you know, it doesn't matter. That was a big damage chain attack. And I still, like I was saying, have the,
Yes! Now that's what I'm talking about.
like the bones XP for at least a few levels. I just stopped using it after, like, level 50.
That was a bone cruncher, eh? Where are the others? No sign. Right, let's leg it back to the Pharaonis.
Yeah.
Do we not just go back to the friend?
To regret making fools of us.
I guess with the way they talk, it could technically be Tyon, but I still think it's Lance. As always, if one character significantly interacts with a hero during the hero quest more than anyone else, it's usually them, you know? It just makes sense. I didn't ever get a... Gosh, dang it. I didn't ever get a waypoint. Oh no, I should have run around Colony 15 a second. Did not even think about it. That's okay.
This is something decent, right?
Ship travels really fast in terms of distance. But... Yeah, like I said, I guess if I really wanted to stretch things, I could go farm CP and like inheritance on classes by going out, swimming out and getting like that level 62 enemy we just passed and luring it all the way back to shore. But it is surely not as... There's a rest point here, really? It is surely not as efficient, I would say, as just finding an island with enemies we can do it off of, you know? You might get more individual CP for fighting an enemy 3-4 levels up on us than fighting, you know, the 57s on that island about our level. But if I can kill 3 in the time I have to lure 1 back, you know, is it really more efficient? Just thoughts I've had.
The big lug still isn't here.
Why do I feel like they're in trouble?
Friends have come back before arrival of Captain. Have to say, Captain is not most punctual.
Oh, okay.
Don't
Okay, no,
tell
we're
me
good.
pipped to the
I worried
post
for a
again.
second there we were gonna have to go rescue them or something. You never know.
Captain is late. Is never good thing to make guests wait.
It's funny that they refer
Gave
to
us a little
refer to him as
trouble, but
captain
we
instead of
handled
commander
it.
too.
We were well ahead
Really
of
goes to accentuate how different this is, not only from other Mobius members, but
Man of the Sea,
other consoles.
Triton's Triple Challenge. Part 4.
We've already won 2 out of 3 and the other one was a draw.
Roll punch-up. The winner gets
You said it wasn't romantic.
What do I need?
7 points?
What he said. Good. Put 'em up.
What a madman.
Taking the piss. It's called the Triple Challenge.
Winner gets 7
We
points.
agree for once. What happened to a man doesn't go back on his word?
You be right. He doesn't. But a man always wants more.
Oh my gosh.
Ugh, this clod.
This character's just one of
What is
those
he
like...
spouting now?
It's grown
Same
on me.
stuff he's been spouting from the start.
I was so sure, you know, as a member of Mobius, they're just going to betray us, but it's this so funny. Oh, he's gonna punch him.
Attention.
Oh no.
Man of the Seas. Punch!
Oh my god.
Lance, you okay?
He just sucker punched him.
Bloody underhanded way to start a
To be
fight.
fair, he directly said, "You better pay attention," and then shouted, "I'm sucker punching you." You know, I don't know if I could say that's a sneak attack.
Every minute.
Sorry, Captain can't
Oh
stop.
my gosh, what a man. That's so funny.
Watch out or get sucked into Captain Tornado.
Is he actually just a fist fighter though? Because we just got Gondor. And technically this was like, in terms of the list of classes, this was the class right before Gondor. Is it really 2 fist fighters? Right after another? Oh. What is that? He's like a sailor. Are those meant to be like fishing hooks? That's really interesting. Okay. Let's take out his allies first. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Man, I needed a hero quest like this after the Fiona one though. And after the trauma of thinking Neil was dead for like an hour of cutscenes last time, like. Oh, that's the best. Like, any game with a serious note though, genuinely. For me at least, it's really good when they have this kind of, you know, comedic tempo, like pause. Like, I don't mind emotional games and stuff, but when it's literally just like, I don't know, like this is like an 80-hour game in terms of playtime, and all you're going to do is be sad the entire time. It just makes me really sad. I suppose that's usually the point, but still. We got chain attack ready for Triton as soon as we're done. One more though. I guess I could just chain attack now, but yeah, it's fine. I doubt we'll need more than one chain attack regardless, so might as well just finish his progress. But like, I still can't get over how many buffs you can stack because of this character. Because again, it's an Agnes character, so you get your arts back way faster. It feels to me when you're an Agni in class. I thought I'd do it. It's like absurd. Once again, I seriously doubt it matters who we choose. In story fights, I feel like I use Ty on Uni a lot because that gives you that, you know, heal. But in most other situations, I really don't think it matters that much. Why is Tyon sitting at 49 points already? That's interesting. I didn't quite get 150 again. After all this time, though, I still don't know the most efficient way to do chain attacks aside from try and get the best percentage and try to get Ouroboros chain. Who did we use, Noah? I kind of want to be greedy here and just see how much damage I just like seeing how much damage we can get out of chain attacks. So, because I'm pretty sure if we just done meal there and done the chain attack for Ouroboros, oh wow, that finished it. We probably would have still finished off Triton. I'm just curious, because it's not doing the most damage. Can I finish off 2 more chains? Probably. Do we really go for the greed? If we do Ty on here, then we're literally guaranteed to have somebody's Ouroboros chain, assuming we can do 2 chains. It's really greedy, but like I was saying, I mean, aside from the time you waste, it's not like it hurts to go overkill. And I just like to see how far I can go. With this class, though, I don't really know if it actually does matter which, I shouldn't have used her there, that's awkward. I wasn't even thinking I should have used Tyon. But, with Signifer, I really don't know if it matters what art you use, because one's a heal, which we didn't need there, and then one's, you know, buff yourself for a random buff, the other share the buffs, which you probably... Oh, oops. I thought I'd be able to do another... I'm still confused on that, too. Sometimes it stops you at 3, sometimes it lets you do 4. And we even got a Bravo now. I might have to look this up. I don't think it's super crucial for, like, the main story, but if I ever do, like, the challenge mode, come back to this game when that comes out, I'm gonna need, like, a quote-unquote comprehensive, you know, understanding of how that works, because clearly I don't. But that's, here I am talking about, like, I want to see how much damage I can get. It's one of the lowest chain attacks we've done in, like, 3 streams. Oops. That's fine. The fight still ends pretty fast. We even had Interlink 3 that I wasn't using. Oh, speaking of Interlink, I'll talk about it after this cutscene, but I found out something recently that made me feel really stupid. Which happens quite a lot, actually, but still.
We totally won this bloody thing.
Man,
Yeah.
what a real mudder
We never
of a
did
moment.
discuss what we get to do when we win.
My aches have aches.
Hmm.
You've bested me. Ye ain't half strong.
It wasn't exactly one-on-one.
To be sure, I'd have beaten any one of ye in a fair fight. But I feel no ill will. Been a while since anyone knocked me down.
Well, I'm feeling all
Really does not
kinds
feel
of
like a
ill.
member of Mobius, so I gotta say,
He's
like...
been sucker punch me.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If you're a Mobius, you could have transformed at any time, right? So why didn't you do it?
Ah, young'un. Only thing I trust are these old bones and my own 2 fists.
Hmm.
In a brawl, anything else kind of taints things. Besides,
Okay.
using anything else be no fun at all.
I feel that. I think.
Ah, truth be told, I've been alive so long, I've clean forgot how to transform.
Oh. Well, if you're gonna be our hero,
Oh, for sparks.
it's crazy that he's been alive that long. As a hero, it would have been theoretically good for us if he knew how to transform. Hmm.
Come on. Think it's a bit early in our relationship for that.
If I let this get away from me now, I might not remember again.
Okay.
I gave up thinking ahead long, long ago, see?
You definitely seem like the type of person who just live in the moment.
What is it that you need?
Ah, well, I want you to smash that big old shiny thing.
Oh, he actually does. I was wondering if that was going to be like our prize for winning the contest,
Mate,
but
do you even have a clue what you're saying right now?
yeah, if it was anyone else but your Mobius,
I've been
like,
waiting for this moment. For that thing to disappear, see?
soon you can be free,
Are you
live your life
really
on the
sure?
sea.
Yeah, tear it down, says I. Well, I'm around to watch it happen.
Oh. Hmm.
Here we go.
Good old Triton, though. I was talking the entire, like, Fiona character quest, like, oh yeah, I wonder if we ever meet, like, I was kidding, by the way. I did not actually think this was the case. I'm kind of blown away by that.
Finally, you're free, friends.
Hmm.
I know it's a bit late to ask this, but are you sure this is okay?
Hmm.
Now, you boys and girls might not be understanding this. I've been a Mobius for a
Yeah.
long time, seen and learnt a lot about death. The thing with death is, it doesn't care about your feelings. It
Yeah.
just comes when it wills. Now, I've seen people who lived short but full
Full
lives.
lives.
People who
Yeah.
cling to every last bit of life. People who are only too happy to die.
Hmm.
I've encountered so many people, I've lost count. But good or bad, they die while I carry on.
I know it's not quite the same thing. I think I talked about this a stream or two ago, about like having had a conversation with like a bunch of friends about whether you'd want to live forever or live like even a shorter than average life if you had to choose between the two. And I remember I was the only one out of like 10 of my friends who said I'd rather live a shorter than average life than live forever. And this isn't quite the same thing, obviously, but this is what I'm talking about. I don't think I could handle that.
But
I don't think I'd have the same mindset of Triton.
Of course that's going to happen, with the way the world is.
Yeah. It's obviously less of a case of like, even if Mobius lives longer than average and these people all live 10-year lifespans, it's not quite the same thing, but it's what it reminds me of.
Just because that's how they are, then maybe I've been living too long. Watching the way they lived, I ended up thinking, wondering what fun these people could get up to if
That's
they
what-
were free.
What everyone's been fighting for. It's crazy.
Something fun. Maybe something stupid.
It's part of living.
Fun.
Sure. I think about Dougie, best strong man I ever saw. Or Serena, nobody loved to see like her. Ghoul had no equal in battle.
I've still been wondering too, because they always talk about how, you know, we now know there's the whole cycle of rebirth and everything. Assuming these people he's talking about didn't make it to Homecoming, and was telling the truth about the whole, if you reach Homecoming, you don't come back. When they go back into the rebirth pods and come back as a first termer, do they go back to the same colony? You know? Or like, do they even hold them for 10 terms? Because the idea is like, for all you know, your 10th term, you meet someone who's a first termer. If you came back as a first termer and then they're like second or third, they'd know you, That kind of put a wrench into things, no? But at the same time, do they really hold everyone for 10 turns? Do they put them on the opposite side of the war, which I don't think is the case. Uni seemed like she was always on Keva's side, same with like Noah and such. Stuff like that, I really wonder those semantics of how the rebirth cycle works here.
Folk, but no matter who they were, the flame clock would end up being their reason for living.
Yeah, because I couldn't escape it.
I wanted to do something, but not even these boat hooks could put a dent in that blasted thing.
You mean you tried to do it as a Mobius?
That's kind of crazy, actually.
But nothing
Yeah.
came of it.
Yeah, well, we apparently just have one of
That's
7
when it
legendary
really
swords
hit
that
home that I was a
nobody knows where the
Mobius.
other 6 is.
I I couldn't destroy the flame clock.
Ah.
After a while, I just gave up. Isn't that ironic?
Man, and here I thought you were just some giant without a thought in his head.
Huh.
Turns out there's a bit more to you.
Oh, that's kind of a mean way to put it, Uni. But this is what I'm talking about. I've mentioned this so many times as well. Like, I feel like I repeat myself on these things all the time. It's because the thought really does run through my head over and over. Like, a lot of these seemingly one-dimensional hero classes, there's a lot more to them. It was the same thing with Ashira is another really good example.
Getting the old noggin going is not a skill I possess. But round about the time I gave up thinking about anything, I started hearing.
And this is what I'm talking about. Like, obviously every commander knew about it, but they've had the time. Now we've freed enough colonies that they really have had the chance to think about what we're doing, you know?
Yep, some idiots going around beating up Mobius, smashing up flame clocks, things of that ilk. Need I explain any more? I knew you were the ones who could release my friends, trapped by that infernal clock.
Well, we did do that.
Yeah.
Indeed.
It's not a
I
lie.
suppose you could say that us destroying the flame clock set your friends free. But that
And
doesn't
in
mean
this
that your
colony
friends would have got
especially-
the same lease on life as Mobius.
Yeah. But it's still like, this is one colony that I don't think it would change their way of life a whole lot, you know?
Come out with some trite
Nice.
Four eyes. My name is Tyon.
He takes such
I
offense.
be talking about in here.
The heart?
Big cliche, but,
You mean
you
like
know,
feelings?
That's right.
not
girl.
exactly false. A lot of cliches are based around because they're semi-accurate, you know?
It doesn't change anybody's lifespan, but in that moment, it's the bond.
It breaks down that
between
barrier
us
of
all.
Triton being Mobius and being almost like their captor, slaving them to the flame clock.
But you're a consul. You're telling me something's changed between you and your underlings?
I think you know the answer, boy. We be equal now.
Yeah.
Not tied to each other by time, or who be above and who be below.
Equal.
Aye, me and ye are
Yeah.
equals. We've had a good brawl, and now there's no grudges.
I think Lens is still holding a bit of a grudge about the sucker punch, but sure.
What do you do now?
Good question.
You're gonna come help us?
The next big beastie and beat the snot out of it. Hope you got room, kiddies.
Yeah, next big beastie's probably another member of Mobius.
Didn't really think I'd be fighting Mobius. Ah, but I'm a big boy. It'll be fine.
You
Jeez.
mean you're joining us?
Yep.
Yep.
I bet you feel all kinds of reassured.
I would genuinely feel more reassured if you knew how to transform. It'd be scary, but
I mean...
imagine having a transformed
pretty
Mobius
tough.
member fighting with us. That'd be crazy.
Wait. Did you forget we're Ouroboros?
And he's Mobius. You're gonna go against your own kind.
Well, us becoming Ouroboros kind of made us go against our own kind. Not in the same way, but you know.
Too right. You could live
To some
1,000
extent.
years and not get the chance to team up with Ouroboros and take a pop at Mobius. I may like an odd scrap with some tough uns.
You're starting to sound a bit like Ashira here.
Idiot adventure with them sounds fun too.
What do you think, Noah?
He doesn't seem the type to have any ulterior motives.
There's one. I've a
Oh,
debt
immediately.
to pay, and I've
There's one.
decided I'll pay it now. Otherwise, ye softies will get knocked down by the next breeze that comes along.
You know, as glad as I am that I did this quest after Agnes Castle, because I got to make the booty jokes. Oh, too funny. But, that line right there really does make it wonder, like, can Triton could have been there in Agnes Castle with us.
And not because you're planning on punching us when our backs are turned.
But he could have been the one to help us stop getting knocked down by that breeze by N. Obviously, the plot would have still
If I have a
continued, but
problem with
metaphorically
somebody,
speaking.
I'd be the sort to tackle it head on.
I mean, no. You definitely punched me when I was looking.
Have asked with your
Oh my
pesky
gosh.
details.
Ah,
Come
details.
on,
It's not
this
important.
Is a good deal.
All right. You convinced me.
You sure?
You can't say
Yeah.
you hate him after listening to all that.
Yeah, no,
That's
genuinely.
true. Okay. You're on the team, Triton.
Glad that didn't take long. I like a good snappy decision, so I do.
But if you put one foot wrong, we're kicking you out faster than you can say
Yeah.
Ouroboros.
I shan't cross my heart. Just you watch, boy. I got me own special power I can help you out with.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah? I'll keep my expectations low.
Don't worry, I've moved on past the grudge. I'm just going to patronize you now. Jeez.
Minute? What happened to Flame Clock?
Did he not tell them?
Guess I'd better relay the tale to my
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like every other commander's at least communicated it with them.
Oh, one last thing.
I suppose it is Triton.
Huh? What is it now?
I got feelings deep as the sea, which I like to pound
Okay.
into some tough enemies. Now I want to fight forever. But when I became a Mobius, that's when I realized that one human life would always have felt too short.
Yeah.
I've lived my life in fear, worried that it was too short.
And maybe that's Triton's, well, he said after I became Mobius, but
But now, a quick scuffle with
just
you
interesting.
has helped clear things up for me. I really felt alive.
Because the only really big, we obviously know Zed was the, you know, like the first Consul based on what we saw in the story. But the only one that we feel like we've got an explicit, you know, like a very defined, explained, thought out reason. Aside from maybe just we wanted to live forever or something, you know.
I'd be grateful.
As for joining Mobius is N
I can chart a new course.
that I can think of.
Get out of here with all that, man.
Ha! You got it.
That's interesting. They did a great job with Syracuse. I just still blown away that it's a Mobius member of everyone. Yeah, surely it's Lions, right?
Special moves I want to
Yeah.
show off.
Okay. So they did pull the same thing that they did with Uni. So Soul Hacker. Can acquire arts and skills from unique monsters allowed for a wide... Oh. That's actually the thing that reminds me the most of. Sorry, my brain just always likes to make connections like this. If anyone's played Final Fantasy VI, it's actually probably my favorite Final Fantasy. 6 and 4. I know like 7's really popular and whatnot, but 6 and 4. I did enjoy 7, but those two first and foremost. It reminds me of Strago's class. Just based off immediate description. Trying himself with some unique arts and skills, which finds various ways to attack, making explosive attacker. Okay, so he has self buffs. He's mostly forgotten the... Okay. Using the Soul Hacker class, so cannot set master arts and skills. Instead, they possess a special ability that lets them acquire by defeating unique monsters. Okay. Further strengthened by meeting certain conditions. In that case, that makes me think, yeah, we have to run around and fight unique monsters. I wonder if they have to be present. As in, like, maybe Triton has a unique list and then our characters have a unique list. That would be really, really annoying. I would hope that it's literally just as long as you have one Soul Hacker when you do it. It'll give you that, but we'll see. Change their role using the role skill, huh? It can change its role to what? That's crazy. That's a really cool class. This is one of those classes, though, that, to me, it feels like it'll be the type of class that, doesn't feel like super good early on. Like, it's almost like this is something that we need to be getting and building up for, like, either late game or even, like, post-game challenge mode. Because at its base form, this sounds like it's a class that's not meant to be crazy powerful at its base form. Either way, since I don't think anyone's inherited Signifer yet. Yeah, that's crazy. So heal the specified amount with this art. Heal the specified amount. That's insane. What? That actually blows my mind. Look at how many there are. Like, what? This seems like such a cool class. Almost like, I mean, the level of customization, I think, it feels like it matches Poppy from 2. But unlike Poppy, where it's like you had to play that honestly kind of tedious arcade game. I remember spending hours doing that. And doing all that kind of stuff, finding the upgrade parts. It's run around and fight things. I really do hope, though, that it's like a one-size-fits-all, like I was saying, as long as I have one Soul Hacker in the party, the hero and anyone else who gets it has the buffs. Because if it's per character on top of everything you have to do, I don't know if I can be bothered, honestly, but for now, since we're going to obviously want to try out that class a bit, we're gonna put Fiona back in. That way we have Signifer and Soul Hacker in. Yeah, as far as other classes that we have to go, I 100% am assuming I need to go play further in the story for these 3. And I know each wave is supposed to have, I was looking at that a bit. It does seem like on the 4th wave, that's not coming out till like December of next year. But they're gonna do like a full-on as the last wave, almost like Torno was for 2, which is, I'm looking forward to that. Might come back and stream this game then. Don't know if I'll do like challenge mode streaming and stuff, we might. But as far as the 3 classes are missing here, like I was saying, I'm 100% certain this is Kamarabi. I don't know who this is, and this just looks like a normal person, but I don't know who that is. It is a little bit disappointing to me though, because I was hoping with how some of these classes, you know, and works, knowing that we'll probably get Ethel back, that this is, it's gotta be, right? I was hoping that maybe we'd get Tyon's original commander. I can never remember her name. I get that we do have Izzard in exchange, but I was really hoping we'd get her. I really liked her design. But I guess that's also one of those, it might diminish her sacrifice for Tyon way back when. But that also makes me wonder, I mean, from the looks of things, Yorin isn't playable, which I guess makes sense. The only other person I can think of, like, from their backstories is... Because, like, Senna and Mio were really close to Link, that was their whole flashback. Yorin for these 3. The only other person I can think of is Mio's Offseer friend. What was her name? Miyabi, that's what it was. I don't know if that's the case, though. Like, again, with the whole rebirth cycle, we know that Miyabi was younger than Mio, and Mio hadn't even reached Homecoming. But again, neither did Tyon's former commander, so who knows? That does kind of, like, I'm trying to recall what she looks like, but as far as I'm just theory crafting, I guess, on my own, without knowing who these are, who they could be. But as for what this is, I mean, that kind of looks like an actual monster form of one of the Mobius, honestly. I kind of doubt that's the case, but that's what that looks like to me. Anyways. We've been going for 2.5 hours, actually, so what I think we might do here is maybe just clear out a couple side quests. We're obviously not even going to scratch the surface of how many we have left. Nor do I really care which ones we do. I do want to run to the canteen real quick, as always, assuming there's one here. And figure out, just as always, might as well get that free recipe. If there's a canteen, like, I'm not even seeing one. This was a rather odd colony, for sure. Was there actually not one? Hold on. Oh. I'm looking around. I mean, we sat at there was a long table that we sat at when we first got here and ate with Triton. I guess I should pick this up. That's really interesting. I don't even see that table. Never mind, it's right there. Yeah, if that isn't the canteen, this colony might not unironically have one. I guess there was the rest spot out there. I wanted to check a few things since we haven't been to a rest spot here before we get into the side quest, though. Again, I don't know how many we'll do. I don't know which ones we'll do. I'm just going to look at the list and pick some out. I was curious how much, but I'm not going to use the bonus XP. Unless we get stuck in the story at this point, I'm going to wait. Because I really want to inherit these classes over. Once we've gotten those last 3 classes, I think it might be better. Yeah, so it looks like 7k is about 1/3 of a level. So we probably have 3 levels, I'd imagine. About 3 whole levels in bonus XP. I'm going to hold off, though. Because like I was saying, it's going to make it so much harder to get our stuff done. And then, I've been saving on multiple files. I don't even know why. I remember I saved here because I was like having an existential crisis at this point if Mio actually died. Let's see. I wanted to see if we'd gotten any of the gem crafting materials. Like I was saying earlier, some of these earlier ones, I think we've just left behind the materials. Because given that we have tiers up to tier 5 for this one, if we still have tier 2s, it's probably in a previous area. And I'm either going to have to use Nopon coins or go back and look for them with like a wiki. But I wanted to check, yeah, and craft any of these I could. Because I'm pretty sure the auto build just uses the highest level of whatever gem it chooses to use. Because from what I can tell, you can't even equip previous levels. So, you know. Yeah, it turns out we are actually able to craft more than we thought. And we also don't want to use our Nopon coins for like leveling up ranks or stuff. We can avoid it now that we know that the Nopon coin exchange is a thing. We didn't until a stream or two ago. And it was literally just I happened upon it when looking at question marks, but especially now and with how sparsely we're sometimes getting them, it's probably best. I'm sure like if it is limited on how many you can get, you could probably New Game Plus and use that to get enough Nopon coins. But, But real quick, let's go through these discussions and then, yeah, go to side quests. This is one of the question marks I was talking about. It gave me 1 out of 2 on this white fog thing, but then I never found the other one. Yeah, I was gonna say, that's what I'm wondering is I don't know if we didn't find this travel point in the city. So I was gonna, off stream, I'll look for that just to make sure. Try and figure that out. But let's just clear out our discussions here. This is actually 4 side quests. Some of them are just XP. City, they have to scavenge these parts. Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be hard for the city to get mats that they need. It's really cool, though, that they were actually able to mobilize the city. That was another thing when they just shot the Annihilator from Agnes at it, and we thought they killed everyone. And they were like, by the way, nope. We didn't tell anyone, including the traitor. But, yeah, we can just move that. No, it's okay, Uni. Interesting.
Oh yeah, we were gonna talk about that thing.
Let's see, so a lot of these seem to be around the city that I just didn't do back then. Adults teach the smaller folks, not smaller folks, the word's children. Mio's had children in the past life. It actually makes sense now that she'd be correcting them because she has the memories of M back, so she knows she's had children with Noah, but by children I mean one child that we saw, but still. Yeah, you don't really beat lessons into people. I mean, I even grew up getting, like, spankings, and I'm not even old. I'm not gonna dox my age, I guess, but I don't know if I've said it on stream before, but I'm, like... I'm not old, but I'm an adult, but I'm not old, I guess is what I'll say. Although I feel a bit old every day. The other day, I pulled a muscle standing up out of my chair, like an idiot. Almost cried on my floor. Okay, so colony. Oh, okay, this one apparently can. Looks like this one's probably gonna be a discussion about another quest for helping out, you know, colony with resources and such. Although Colony Iota was the one that was really noted as, Alexandra's colony was the one that was helping out other people get resources.
Oh, that smells gorgeous.
So.
We asked Manana to whip up some grub.
Anyway. Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Hey, we gotta talk.
I still don't know if these hero-specific ones... I'm assuming to raise the rank to 20 on the specific hero class, you probably have to have the hero for that class for that quest. But I just don't know. Why did you help? That's rude. Colony 4 is an ally. Oh, okay. See, that makes sense now. They've also been released for their flame clock, so they're no longer enemies. But she made it sound like they were doing that before we broke their flame clock. I like Alexandria. She has a really, really pretty and elegant design. Yeah, I was gonna say. Information is easy to come by. Yeah, Alexander is one of the really, really smart. Almost like Izzard was another one that reminded me of. Very, very... Obviously, they're strong as, like, a commander. A lot of them are competent, whether the healers, attackers, or not. But... very strategic, you know? I mean, Izzard's class is literally called Strategos. Kind of funny, though, that she's only 6th term. It's like 2 years younger than everyone else here. I've still been wondering the relative age of everyone, too. Because they obviously don't know about babies. And when they're first term, like, we saw Ethel as a new first termer. She looked older than, like, a toddler, maybe like a teen at the youngest. And we know they have, like, a 10-year lifespan. Which makes me think, is that, like, when they're born / released from, like, the birth capsules, rebirth capsules, are they, what, like, the equivalent of, like, age 12, 13, and then they age up to, like, 20, early 20s? Or something to that effect? It's got to be around that age, I'd imagine. Because they're very clearly not born as, you know, they didn't know what babies were. And they're very clearly not toddlers. And when they're first termers, they're old enough that they can still be trained, you know? Like we saw in the flashbacks, they looked very young. In their training flashbacks for, like, Noah's group. But, this war is almost perfect. It's almost like somebody called Mobius is pulling the strings. Yeah, crazy. Huh. What was she supposed to do, Uni? Yeah. She's a commander, but she's a 6th term commander, and who would have even believed her? Cold as ever. I don't know. But even if, like, Alexandria mentioned she tries to appear older, if she's only 6th term, she looks like she's older than, like, say I was right and it was, like, 12 to 22 or 13 to 22. She looks older than she's, like, 18 or 19. I don't know. Doesn't make much sense to me. I guess that was maybe the point, but... I mean, it's a fictional universe, I think. I mean... I don't know, I just don't get it. It's hard pinning down ages of any of the characters tied to the cycle, honestly. Because, like, we knew Vandam was around, I think it was 60, which means, and Monica's old enough to have a child Gondor's age, and Gondor looks like she's about 18. You know, early 20s at their oldest. Which means that Monica's probably somewhere in her, maybe 30s, 40s. Oh. Okay. Now that I think about it, I guess we're not going to be getting Inheritance XP anyways. So, we could do this. We have one more canteen thing to do. But I'm curious if we should maybe try and do some of these hero-specific side quests if we're going to do a couple here. We do have Valdes. The problem with doing Valdes is that Valdes required a bunch of resources, and this one might too, that we did not have at the time. Is there a city made? Yeah. I mean, Kavesi, all of them wear the same thing everyone else does. My style, it's not weird or anything. I doubt they find your clothing offensive, but that's funny. Functional, actually. I don't know. I mean, I usually wear gym shorts and a tank top, to be honest, just because it's comfortable. I'm not the type of person to worry about my appearance either. Your scarf is deeply uncool. Oh my gosh. Jeez. You're just as vain as the rest of us. That's really funny. That's really funny.
Hey, listen to this, will ya?
Wikipedia cards. Alexandra came... Oh yeah, I remember her saying that. She said something about, like, the semantics of, like, oh, I wasn't the one who put it into place, but I suggested it or something. Yeah. Interesting. I mean, we've currently got a Consul. Yeah, they're, like, the extreme example at K. Then there's the other side, like, Triton. Or even the one that made friends, like, Consul I think it was. Kind of crazy. I mean, it makes sense. It just... From the first few consoles we met, you really didn't think that'd be the case. Even M, I guess, to some extent.
Is that a supply drop?
Judging by those supplies, I would expect
Yeah, let's
Philly to be there.
go see if this is another one like Valdes.
Shall we go have a look then?
where it just requires certain materials that we potentially don't have, we'll just go do another side quest. But like I was saying, I haven't even had a chance to check back and see if I actually have the materials to do Voldy's hero quest, because that one required a ton of resources that I just straight up didn't have. But I'm wondering if the specific hero ones we have right now are, because I'm just doing it for the sake. Oh, that's really far away. Because there's a chance that this is what raises our what? Okay, I guess we just have to run there. Well, we're gonna be running for a hot second.
Never seen this place before.
Because I really am assuming if we have the quest to raise the rank, you probably have to involve the hero whose class it is, you know? But it's just interesting because they told us way back when that there would be eventually a way to raise the rank, and we've been skipping a lot of side quests, so there's a chance we missed out on it. Those are level 60 enemies. Interesting. Well, once again, at least we're not going to be wanting for, well, the rest of the enemies here are low level 40s, but as always, having enemies our level to train on is helpful. But I just don't know.
Better give it a good once over.
I mean, I'm sure some of these side quests will have us fight things, but we do still need to try out Triton's weapon a bit. I think what I might do is go travel to the named marker grace we have, though, off stream. I mean, I have a good amount of stuff to do off stream. I don't even know if I'll be able to stream tomorrow, because I have to make a couple calls, do a few things, and then also I have a lot of stuff to do off stream now. Grind out some of those classes to get Tritons, and oh, I feel so stupid. Fiona's classes onto other people. I've told you guys before, though, I'm terrible. I'm great with faces. I'll remember the faces of people I've met once years later. I can't remember names to save my life. The biggest example I can remember from another series we've done is, if you look back at my 3 Hopes playthrough, we did Golden Wildfire first. I forgot Holst's name like 20 times. Not even joking. It was just every time I had to think about it, I couldn't remember it. Because I'm dumb. But this. I just don't know when we get to upgrade the rank. I mean, I'm wondering if it really is after we basically have gotten all of the, I mean, we're only missing 3 heroes based on the screen left. The class screen here. So maybe it's after we've unlocked all of them, and that's really when they start to flow, or maybe we've just skipped them. Because looking back at the quests, we do have quite a few that require specific heroes, you know? This one requires Voldy, this one requires Xeon. Oh, a couple with Juniper. Well, that kind of nixes my theory. Maybe it's just quest needing specific heroes, then. Which also would make sense. Either way. Oh, there's a question mark on the map now, too. What? Gosh dang it. That might be... I mean, for all we know, it's just another quest. There's been enough.
Is he angry?
Oh.
He's just not very expressive is all. Still cute, though. Just like an Arden.
He's still cute, though. Is he mad at us? Not at all. Yeah, it's not your fault. Yeah, your storehouse is really, really far from your colony. I guess in the long scheme of things, 800 meters isn't the biggest distance, but still. Be nice. She was just like, you're scaring her. Yeah. It's kind of funny, too, that everyone calls her Dame Alex. It's just a bit of a different, like... Most of them are... Like, we get Captain Triton, but most of the time it's just Commander. She takes it so offensively. He's like, you should be nice. And she just gets so offended. I'm always nice. What do you mean? Kind of funny. Yeah, I wonder how long the side quests are. Some of these side quests genuinely to me feel like they're just as long as hero quests, which is why I wasn't sure how many we'd do here. Because next stream, I want to get back into the main story. Like, I genuinely, like, unless I look it up at endgame and find out, which I won't look up until endgame, honestly. To see if, like, because if by that point I haven't raised my class ranks and we get to, like, very clearly we're getting ready to fight against Zed, who I'm assuming is the final boss, then I'll be like, okay, we might want to look that up. Or if we hit the point where we've maxed out rank on basically everyone on all the classes, we'll look it up then. But until then, I'm just not too worried about it. Because that's the only foreseeable thing I can think of that we're missing out on side quests, potentially. And knowing that there's a quest in the city that says it's a hero quest for Riku and Manana, I get the feeling it even marks it as a hero quest. Unless there's another city hero. But, again, one of them is very clearly Kamaravi. It's the other two, the one looking... literally, the last one looks like a literal Consul in, like, transformed form to me. And then the other one looks like a normal human, so... unless there's another hero in the city, maybe it just marks out the Ascension class as hero quest, which would be very helpful. And I wouldn't put it past them, obviously, to think something like that out. But... overall, side quests just haven't seemed like... you know? They do get you to explore other areas, though, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't have come here if not for this specific side quest. But yeah, like, all my list of things to do off stream is literally get it, characters inherited, explore some things. We'll probably go up to that question mark if I remember. And explore the city. Explore maybe more of the Cadenzia region. Just quite a few things to do. Yeah, this is really out of the way, though. It's kind of crazy. Hidden stash, huh? Quite a few things to do off stream, which, again, paired with some of the stuff, I have to get, like, my yearly physical setup and stuff. I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow. They're at full capacity then, huh? Shells. Or shell. Shell. Shell sounds right to me. Who's surveilling who? Oh. Okay. Yeah, a lot of these side quests seem to be... There's a good number surrounding, the off-seers of each colony. I've been noticing that. We've been seeing them less and less, actually, funnily enough, as we go on. But there were a lot of the early colonies had a specific quest for an off-seer. But a lot of them are also the new way of life for these colonies. Okay. Yeah, this colony always seemed like it was one based on merit. I mean, they have that whole reward system that they said every, like, month that we saw. Just interesting. Because the dynamic not only between, I've mentioned this, not only between commanders, which are usually our heroes, and the rest of the colony is so interesting and varied. But, also just the whole dynamic of the colony itself. Yeah. But on 10. Oh. Why? Like, this is a side quest. It didn't have to go this way. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, unless we do find a way to fix it, as we've been talking about this entire time, we don't know how much time, or M as a Consul was really the body that was given over to Mio, what time limit is placed on that body. But everyone else was still around 8th term as far as the main party goes, so who knows. I didn't even see what that's... Oh, access rights to the goods. New function of the Collectopedia cards. This isn't surprise, it's shock. It's pretty similar. Name the commander of the colony. Oh, okay. That's actually, I mean... even if it doesn't really fix it, colony force commander. Yeah... It makes sense that Bolieris would be the new, you know, he was the lieutenant. Different colonies seem to have different, like, Ashir had 3, I think, but still. That's,
Some relationships changed.
You really had to, just... I've been happy as a clam, just not thinking about that. You have no idea.
Oh, hey, we finished off something.
Here you go, Bolieris. Sorry we got your commander killed. Well, it wasn't really, you know, semantics, but still. But she is coming back, surely. She's in the city right now. No idea what happened to Kamaravi, but She is in the city. We do have control over Agnes Castle, though, to be fair, so... You know. The common good, yeah. Yeah. They made it sound so sinister, they're like, we're gonna get debt from everyone, but in reality, I think Alexandria's just trying to do the right thing. She acts like... I think she's almost one of those characters that tries so hard to act overly mature. And again, she explains kind of the reasoning of it helps to disguise, you know, the changing of command and stuff like that. But it's almost like she tries too hard. Yeah, that's interesting. So we can send these colony goods to these colonies. Interesting. So basically, I don't know if we'll get more of these quote-unquote colony iota goods, but it is some free affinity. We know colony 9's struggling, so why not? Yeah. Property. See, the thing is, I feel like in terms of if we're thinking about who's struggling, I mean, this is an abandoned colony. I think Gamma's actually fine. Mu's fine. But let's go with 11. Why not strengthen their relationship with the former Kevis colonies?
Great, it's done.
Ain't nothing like free. Unless we have enough to give some to everyone. We do not. Sorry, Fiona. Yeah, sorry, Fiona. I feel a little bit bad about that, but hey. Oh, eventually we can... I wonder if we get more... I mean, the fact that those even still show up as options makes me wonder if we get more colony iota goods at some point. I really haven't filled out these Collectopedia cards because I... Oh. Huh. I wonder if we get more at some point. We can't even use Knockbon coins for this. That is interesting. Anyway, some other quests. Why not do Cal Turgan Alliance Offseeing Customs? I'm really not sure what we all want to do. I'm kind of tempted to do some of these hero-specific ones. Let's try this. This one seems like it shouldn't be too long either. The one we just did, to be fair, wasn't too bad. But maybe do like a couple of these ones that require specific heroes and a couple that don't. I mean, genuinely, if I'd been playing on my own time, and not doing basically everything except grinding on stream, I would have done these as I went. It's the fact that I really want to get to the story on stream.
Enemies back then, huh? Funny how things turn out.
Okay, so we're just looking for these question marks then. Or these magnifying glasses. Okay. There's one directly this way. Yeah, I didn't know that there would be interactions like as far as affinity between colonies. I wonder if that affects anything. Okay. Directly each of these two ways. It says collect 10 though, and I only see 5. So either we get more than one from some of these, or like another 5 up here. Oh, I see. Oh, there's another entire battlefield, it looks like. This isn't exactly an interesting story quest, but it's one of those, like... It makes sense, you know? I don't know why Xeon had to be here for this, granted, if this is all we're doing. Still. Doesn't hurt to help our original colony. We've kind of left them a bit by the wayside since we helped them such a long time ago and then ignored them. There's level 2 enemies in this area. And this is like a level 20 hero quest too, so that's how you really know we kind of ignored this one. Is this oh. There's a question mark in there, that's interesting. Is that just an entirely different... I'm confused.
We might be able to retrieve them.
Is there something we're supposed to grab right here? I don't get it. Because this is an entirely different quest. I don't even know why it's appearing from that far away. Is this friendly? What? Is there? It says from the battlefields. Is there another lean times in Colony 9? Or is there even more? We could run around a bit. I mean, this is one of those side quests that if I did it off stream, I can't say I think it really matters, but... Oh, no, okay, we just hadn't explored the entire area. Ugh. mean... Yeah, this is not exactly the world's most interesting side quest, if we're being honest. When it says old battlefields, though, I thought we were going to have to go to multiple places. That's why I was confused. Because I saw the other, on the minimap, the other side quest. And it just didn't even register in my head that it was just referring to an entirely other side quest because I'm dumb. Either way, let's keep running up the edge of this now.
This is something decent, right?
I mean, this is one of those things that kind of punishes... Well, it gets you to go explore, but I could have done it faster if I'd already explored this entire area, you know? One of those types of things. There's a supply drop all the way over there. You'd think they'd want that. I honestly haven't worried about the supply drops as much as I should have. If it's on the way or not too far off the path, I usually go get them off stream. But, like, running all the way over there while we're trying to do some side quests doesn't sound like a fun idea. Same thing with all the resources on the ground. And they seem to respawn relatively quickly, too. So if you ever absolutely had to go grind out some mats, you could just, you know, go between 2-3 areas and they'll respawn by the time you get back. This is really not a big deal. But the one nice thing, though, genuinely, about doing these side quests this late is that I don't have to worry about aggroing anything in this area. I can just run through and do it. Like, arguably it would have been more efficient to do it when we were actually the level for this quest. But we'd have spent such a long time literally just getting accosted by enemies everywhere we went that it would have taken even longer. Oh, and there's a level 62 enemy over there. Alright, where have we not run inside this circle? Around this area. I actually don't think it's a good idea to pick a fight with that group, gonna be honest with you. It'd be a good experience in like class inheritance bonus and stuff like I was talking about. But that's an elite and like 4 other enemies that are all a few levels up on us. Might as well grab this while we're over here.
Yes, here we go.
Never mind. We probably get, honestly, potentially we get the key from fighting that group over there. I didn't even know those could be locked. Alright, we're up. There it is. And this will take us back to Colony 9, so we'll be able to get that.
It's like looting their rest.
Check out this other one real quick. It's probably just another side quest, I'd imagine.
Not pleasant, however you look at it. This smell.
Lenny. Hi, Lenny. I let down Django and the others, huh? Oh. Oh, well, these are those rampaging monsters and not Agnians, eh? That means that, you know, you're at least not getting into fights. It's, don't get me wrong, it's still really, really sad, but they're still... Oh, okay. Okay. It's another side quest, yeah. But, I'd still been worried, you know? It was one of those things where just because we freed, like, say, Kavesi colonies and Agnians, and that's why I'm actually really happy to see what Alexander is doing. It doesn't mean that they're going to get along with everyone, you know? There's information there, I'll grab that later. Ah, yes, the reasoning Xeon in this quest, so he could say, like, 3 lines. He was on the battlefield, you know? Oh? Oh, it's Kite. Yeah, this guy's a perfect example, though, of, you know, someone who didn't get along clearly with everyone in the colony. Although maybe Kite just resents us because of what happened, who knows? Would you rather starve? You know, it's on an old battlefield, you know. I get that they've got some pride, but like, Yeah. Gosh, I don't like Kite. It's one of those things like you can get the resentment to some extent, but sometimes you're just being, you know, abrasive, I think is the word for the just for the sake of it. You know, like yeah, let's do a few more. This is the one I was talking about though. I really doubt. I mean, we can go check, but I kind of doubt I still don't think I have the resource to do it because a lot of those resources were things from the early game. I mean, we can check, but I remember when we first got this quest, we checked it, and we had enough to go 10%. Like, and obviously this can't, I wouldn't think this is all stuff that you could get later in the game. There's a long list of things we could give to raise the percentage. But it's like a resource quest for Colony 30. But it doesn't hurt to double check, because I haven't checked in a while.
Some relationships changed. Let's just hand the stuff over.
30%. We do. Oh, okay. Never mind. Maybe I was wrong. Looks like we'll at least be able to get close. Oh, okay. We did have enough. Nice. I genuinely hadn't checked in a while, so. Phase 2 completed. Oh, this is for building Valdi's Levnus, isn't it? Oh, Fart 3, huh? He's gonna say like 30. Oh my gosh. I wonder if this is gonna be like, I've been wondering if this is gonna be equivalent to the one that you used to farm for legendary cores where you raise, I don't remember what it's called, but there's a beast you raise through a side quest over a long time. Like throughout the game. I just did it all at the end in my Xenoblade 2 playthrough. And that's the best thing for farming legendary cores. I wonder if there's going to be a quest similar to that you were kind of supposed to do throughout the game. Would be interesting. The funny thing about that question too is you could actually kill it at any point. If you saved after that, you had to go find another way to farm cores, and that was the most efficient way to do it. In fact, I think I killed that once and I immediately realized because the guy that's next to it says, "Oh, you killed the one we were raising," or whatever. Got really sad.
Are we meant to push straight through all the way to phase 10?
We can take it slow. There's a ton of scrap out there for us to collect.
Yeah, I'm getting the feeling it's actually going all the way to G's. Well, once again, we clearly don't have the mats to do this. Oh, we actually got closer than I thought we would. Interesting. Why aren't you not even close to me? No, me, you... Ugh. Why does it still show as a question mark?
Which was it again? Some relationship.
Okay, that's gonna bother me if that stays as a question mark. There's another question mark somewhere way over here now I'm seeing. That's the wrong map. I just figured if you got a plus sign, it just goes to whatever your destination's on. But there's a question mark somewhere over here. Let's go hunt this down real quick. I mean, we've cleared out 3 side quests already relatively fast. Like, I get their side quests, they probably wouldn't have taken that long. There's an officer thing up there. But seriously, I just...
Some relationships
they did such a good job with the main story in being engaging, at least for me. And oh, there's an elite there. I'll take care of it later. It could be good for this, you know, the Triton class, but... You know what? Why not? We're basically just doing some housekeeping on this stream. So it has a double bite cancel attack up. It's a Twin Fest weapon, similar in feel it, I think, so far to... I mean, we played it for like a second. To Zephyr. I don't mind it. Genuinely, this weapon seems so cool to me. Again, it reminds me of Strago's class in Final Fantasy VI, except maybe actually good. I wasn't a big fan of using Strago. But in Final Fantasy VI, to be fair, the 3 mages were incredibly broken. Namely, Celes, Realm, and Terra. You could make all of them just become the most broken units in the game, because everyone in 6 could use magic. So, and you could arguably use Espers and stuff to raise people's stats as you level, but yeah, it was pretty broken. And then if you're going to use a physical unit, you'd usually use like Master Scroll Lock, Although for the early game, Edgar's tools carry you through, and then late game as well, Sabin's blitzes work, and you actually do gear Sabin towards magic because of his Phantom Rush. Sorry, I love that game so much. They made the remake, and I really loved the remake. They really updated it. Some things looked really cool. Like when you're above where you like recruit Mog and fight the original Esper that blows you away at the very start and like freeze Terra from the mind control. I can't remember its name. I think it was Valagamaranda, but I might be wrong. In a lot of the other versions, like I'd played the GBA ROM version, you can't tell that you're right above the city, but in the PC version, like they fixed a lot of that stuff. There's other things that they didn't. One thing I find hilarious is there's the Zozo strip club. Unironically, they took that out. That made me laugh for like 10 minutes. But I was really, really disappointed that they didn't add the Dragon's Den. They might do it eventually, but for a remake not to have the GBA DLC, like, and the Dragon's Den was like the #1 endgame, or whatever, I think it was called the Dragon's Den, where you fight like 100 enemy encounters in a row. I would have loved to do that with the updated system, and I think there were a couple Espers that weren't there. It was basically, they didn't add a lot of the GBA extra content to the remake, but anyway. I also think I might need to go auto-build Lance here. I know they said this class is weird with the way it interacts with some things, but I don't have any chain arts on it. And I'm beginning to wonder if because Lance was on a healer, both the previous classes, because he had Fiona's class, and then he was on a healer class when we started the stream. He might not have... Okay. Yeah, it is kind of like they mentioned, though. We have to... Interesting. Yeah, this class is really, really... Oh, I just remember, sorry. The thing I was talking about way during Triton's quest that I forgot to mention. The Soul Tree. So for a really long time, I was confused because I was looking and going, okay, so this is the next one. Why can't I do this? You know? We were supposed to get these ones. So the lock is on the ones that you can't even do. And you're supposed to be doing the next one up, if that makes sense. So like here... I didn't upgrade. I literally didn't upgrade our interlink for like 2-3 chapters because I was confused. Like here, we're supposed to upgrade. Let me find an example. Because these are not enough SP. Someone who has a good chunk of SP. Does she have enough to do one? So like here, we do this one. This one's locked, if that makes sense. Because we have to have both sides of it, apparently. But like here, I was confused because I would be looking at it being like, why is the next one locked? Because I didn't realize we still had to do this one. So all in all, we skipped out on a ton of interlink power for several chapters for no reason other than my own stupidity. I tell people this stuff all the time. Like, I was the kid that knew calculus in 8th grade. You know, started learning, like, entry-level college math. I think 8th grade's now at the high school now or something like that. But, like, you get what I mean. But I would just turn around and ask people the dumbest things. Like, that's the best way I can describe myself, is like academics-wise and stuff like that. I used to know how to play like 20 instruments, so so out of practice, I don't even think I could play like 2 now. But I would literally just turn around and be like, man, I don't even have like basic understanding of things I need to know to exist, you know? But anyways, let's go find this other question mark. It is really going to annoy me that there's a question mark on Valdi's new quest. Because I wasn't there before. I actually don't know how to get up here. But they really did try to emphasize going back and exploring old areas, which is genuinely not something I'm good about in a lot of games. It's really good, though. I mean, it gives more replayability to the game and stuff. I'm almost thinking you have to go here. Climb up here and go across. We'll try that. If that's not the answer, I might just go do something else. My goal was to do like 5 side quests before the stream. I don't want to do another super long stream again. We got the 2 hero quests done. We're really setting ourselves up to do the more of the story. But again, might as well get some of it done here, because we've been skipping out on it super, super hard. Now let's just climb up here. And get going. Check out the supply drop potentially too. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what happens if you go all the way to phase 10 on Valdi's thing. Do they actually rebuild the mech? And then it could it be like a test battle opponent? Oh, that is the question mark.
Are there any Levener's parts inside?
Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Oh, okay. What, are they gonna fight us again? Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say. I believe these are the people from Colony Iota, like her Alexandria's lieutenants. I mean, we're on the arch that leads into it, but they're really, really good about knowing stuff. Hmm. He's setting a terrible example. Yeah, they're no longer involved in the war, you know? Hmm. Yeah. He's got less than a year to live if he's 10th termer, like... Why not enjoy things now that you don't have to... Hey! Hey, she's literally been married to Noah, you know? She slapped him? Oh, no, okay. Okay. Oh, she punched him right in there. Okay. I was gonna say, I didn't think Mia would slap him over something like that, but that's kind of funny. Another supply drop. Oh. Wait, was that the same one as we just saw? Oh, I think it was just one. You really think, though, if they really wanted to give people resources, they'd just drop it right next to the colony. I just never got that.
We got new folks on the map.
Mostly just, I guess, Mobius, maybe in the castle being antagonistic. Anyways, there were a couple that I really wanted to do. Like I said, we're probably only going to do one or two more. I just went to pick up that quest since we saw it was on the map. I wanted to do the one from... here it is. Go mess with, just because of the dynamic, the Colony 11 3 Ravens one. I really, really like the dynamic that... Why can't I see where this is? I just think that the dynamic of Colony 11 is really, really funny. Stars meet you to the 3 Ravens. Is it... I was hitting plus sign there and it wasn't letting me go straight to it, which is really weird. Isn't it? Maybe they're in Colony 11?
Something smells tasty.
Trust. There's a conversation there. Oh, there's a lot of information. What? The information I'll try and remember and get off. We could sit there and watch it now, but I'm just... What?
How about here instead?
I'm confused.
I'm hungry.
We can try and gain their trust, but we don't know where they are. Show trust restores meet you to 3 ladies. You'd think they'd be in the colony. Yeah, they're there. I'm confused. Doing a prey.
Some relationships changed.
I thought we were supposed to gain their trust. Oh, okay. That didn't even put progress in them. I don't get it.
Hey, can I get a hand here?
That's weird. Yeah, the relationship with Shiraz with her colony is just funny to me. I mean, given how we recruited her and everything, just like, geez. Yeah, you know what, might as well. Oh. They knew what they were doing with some of these things, though, like, seriously. Like, I'll take full responsibility for my immature mind talking about the booty in Triton's Quest, because you're supposed to, genuinely, based on location, you're supposed to do that before Agnes Castle, so before you have that outfit. But, like, still. I was just realizing we might actually need these conversation topics to gain their trust. Yeah, they're talking about the 3 units. Otherwise, I was just going to wait on this information. Right. So that should be information on the 3 units. Let's go talk about it.
No one can fight on empty batteries.
Never mind, we're missing another unit. Let's go find that before we do this.
All charged
That's
up
awkward.
and ready to go.
This seems like it might be a bit lengthier of a side quest, so maybe this will be the last one we do. Most of the side quests, though, genuinely, like, don't seem so bad. Zoran's unit. There's another one over there, though. Assemble at the west gate, huh? Okay. I mean, it is literally called the Annihilator. Yeah.
It's all making sense.
Same thing, though. I feel like I've really just been rushing so far ahead in this main story that I've probably been getting heroes later than you could. Because I still don't remember if I could have come into this colony beforehand. Before we went into the Agnes Castle arc. But,
Here we go.
anyway, I still don't remember if we could have gone into that whole arc, though, beforehand, you know? Gotten, Ashira before we ever invaded, Kevis Castle. Because we did it afterwards. All in all, though, it's fine. I'm not really bothered by it, but it was just funny, too, kind of to see those implications of, like I was talking, like, Triton saying, I'll help you with before the next breeze that blows by knocks you over. And if we'd gotten him beforehand, that next breeze would have been Agnes Castle. So was on the scene. Yeah. All 3 of them were on the scene. We fought all 3, like one right after another, I thought. Just like a Shiro. Okay. So West Gate. I am confused as to whether or not these are the 3 quests for gaining their trust.
Been meaning to talk to you guys.
So draw the enemy in Zoran's units attack, Esos' support. Yeah, they're still silver rank. Yep, so Westgate, training pits. I mean, if it's a full-on here side quest just to get, you know, for each of the 3 of them just to get the actual side quest, it'd be kind of obnoxious. It's a rear guard unit. So you've got the attack, the support, and then the rear guard. Canteen. I maybe should have set one of those as my active quest now I think about it. I just figured we'd get side quest markers probably.
All charged up and ready to go.
Yeah, we did. Okay, we're good. Alright. Maneuvers to control colony. Oh, great. Easel's out on an errand. Oh my gosh, why are we getting... We have to bribe him, don't we? Okay. If we don't have those, we're doing a different side quest, I swear. We don't. Okay, dang it, I actually really was curious about this side quest. That's fine. I still want to do at least one. One more. Maybe one of these Juniper ones. This is the one about the leader of the Turk, and why not? Come on, Juniper.
The big colonies have so much delicious food. Oh, I can't
There we go.
decide.
Yeah, well, one of those same things. Same thing with like Valdi ones. Doesn't hurt to check it out for the first time. Even if we can't complete it, you know. No harm, no foul. It's annoying, but eh. One of those things that really promotes exploration, you know. I don't mind it, I just have focused on the main story. Right. So they're talking about like preparing supplies to share with the Turkin. I mean, if they've had a long-standing tradition/alliance with them, and they can't do it, I don't know if the Turkin, of all things, will understand. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be another... Is this gonna be another we don't have the resources to do it?
Alright. Now to gather the
Oh.
offerings.
The colony holds some deeply alien
Wait.
customs.
Wait, I know I can... Alright then. Gosh dang it. At this point... let's do this one. This is the one that I was talking about where the party finds a curious monument somewhere. That's the monument I was talking about, one of the question marks in the Condenzia region. And they, Riku was saying, don't give an offering to it, you know? That's actually exactly what I was talking about. I get the feeling this is going to be another one that we don't have the resources to do, but... Eh. It just... I keep saying, all it is punishing... Really just punishing my lack of exploration, but... And I don't mind grinding, it's just I've done... very minimal outside of the main story and hero quests on stream, to be fair.
Which was it again?
Okay. Looks like we have enough for this, though. I hate to go down to nothing on any resource. Just in case, yeah. There we go. Oh, I maybe should have switched heroes so I can keep getting, because this actually seemed like it was about our level. Everyone is big stupid. Sorry, Riku. What's it gonna do? Oh, how horrifying. This is gonna be like the rabbit from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Looks like something super unintimidating, then just starts mauling people. Oh no, it's cute. How good, Mio. Yeah. Can I pet it? Good old Senna. Maybe you shouldn't pet it if they're that wary of it still. Oh, it wants to fight. It's gone berserk. Not often you see Senna being the one getting flustered like that. Oh, we're fighting. Yeah, we forgot to change our hero back to Fiona. That's fine. My plan was to do it Depriti Pepito. It is a unique enemy, potentially. Oh, it's evading everything. That's not good. It means we might have to rely on Chinita. Ow. That hit me up pretty hard. For a fight like this, actually, I kind of wish I had another healer. It's fine. We will figure something out. If we fail, I'll switch heroes back over to Fiona. But either way, we've got a few islands with relatively comparable levels. It just stinks too because we would have gotten... Actually... That's fine. I was gonna say, we would have gotten good inheritance XP as well for both, you know, the Triton's class, which is currently on lands, as well as, you know, Fiona's. But, if we fail, like I was saying, we'll change. Because we are taking a lot of damage. So it actually would have probably been to our benefit to have another healer here. Especially with how I've talked about, I only have one healer. I take it back. Sorry, I'm dumb. I completely forgot about that. We changed the lands to, oops. Oh my gosh. Anyway. I completely forgot about that. I'm just dumb.
Me?
Let alone running triple healer like I want to be running one. Soul Hacker, yeah. So, we need to make sure we have a Lost Vanguard, Soul Hacker. We have her on the field. Yeah, I guess we can't run to, do Signifers. That's fine. Incursor, now everybody's inherited Incursor, so it's not super important whether we switch. Yeah, okay, we have Gondor and Signifer on, Gondor and Incursor, sorry, on everyone, so it doesn't matter who we switch between these two. Let's do this. Yeah, that's really awkward, though. We maybe could have still done it, but I completely didn't realize that was the case because I'm dumb. I'm thinking this enemy maybe just has a bunch of evade at the start, so maybe we don't use our arts until, yeah. Okay, well, I was about to say until the first couple of attacks hit, and then I did that, and then the art missed anyways. Genuinely though, having a Signifer might give us that, I think there was an accuracy buff in there. That could be really helpful too. But this is the first fight in a while that I think we might lose. But, yeah. Still though, and I know I mentioned it, I don't mind this class. It seems like such a cool concept. It just feels like the type of class that, like, for a rational playthrough, like, maybe it'll be, like, god tier for, like, endgame, you know? But as far as just, like, right now in the moment when you first get it, it's kind of underwhelming because I can't even use, like, chain arts. Which I'm genuinely not a fan of, but I get that that's the entire purpose of the thing, is go fight all the uniques and stuff. Which is, you know, another thing to do off stream. The downside is I don't even think you can auto battle on... I know you can't on the first time you beat uniques. I don't know if you can on consecutive attempts. And honestly, when I've been doing some of my off-stream grinding for, like, SP, or sorry, CP, class points, I've just set them on auto battle and watched you too. Yeah, this fight, look at how much less damage we're taking. Mio's on, both our tanks were almost dead. And we weren't even this far in the fight earlier. Whereas now everyone's still sitting full health, completely buffed up. It was just me being dumb. Because we hadn't fought anything even remotely dangerous since we got our 2 new classes. Who lands in? I just like to alternate, you know? Why not show off different ones as we go forward on stream? Yeah. I still don't know if it really matters when we do this particular one, you know? You know, all active characters except self could be not bad. Do you think it's kind of fun though? Oh, it looks so cute. Can I pet it? It didn't even look that mad though. It just like got on all fours. Oh. This is another case though. Do we run the risk for extra damage because we're still so early on? We're gonna greed. We're gonna greed. We might not get the Ouroboros order because we did this, but that is the one issue I've been having with chain attacks is do I try and do it now and run the risk that we don't get Senna's card next time? Or do I just... I'm just going to do this. Do I run on the hopes that I can get 4 chains? Because I don't know what it is that sometimes causes you to be able to do 3 versus 4 before it auto-stops the chain. But if you get 2 back-to-back, you know, for the Ouroboros order, then you're only getting 2 plus Ouroboros. You're definitely not maximizing out your damage. And it was all semantics and didn't matter because we got Senna's immediately afterwards. Like, I won't run the risk another time, knowing that sometimes it just stops you at 3, but I'm starting to get the feeling maybe I just need to see if someone's already written, like, a guide on chain attacks. I'm sure someone has, I wouldn't be surprised. It's been like a month or so, I think, since this game came out. Because I genuinely don't understand stuff like that. Why occasionally I get 3, sometimes it lets me do 4 before Ouroboros order. It just doesn't make much sense to me. To be fair, it's also probably been explained in the tutorial / tip stuff, but I'm dumb. That's about the long and the short of it. It really just boils down to I'm dumb. we'll squeeze out. It's like my favorite thing to do when you get to this singular chain, when it restores everyone for Ouroboros. Just squeeze out and use both the healers again. I think both my healers are on the same class now. Yeah, they are. It's fine. It will never grow old to me, though, how little damage you do to unique enemies outside of chain attack, and then how much damage the chain attack does. Like, seriously, we'd fought for a good chunk of time, had done like 1/8 of its health, do one chain attack, it's down to like 1/8 of its health, if not going to die. Yeah, it didn't die. And again, that wasn't even the highest chain attack. The biggest one we did was like, what, 1.3 million so far? It was really helpful for this enemy, though, how much it evades, like. Imagine if we didn't have chain attack and we had to do it normally. I believe you about the rampaging now. I wonder, though, for those, like, side quests, though, do we actually get, does that also tie into, this unique class? Because it was a long list of potential abilities. Get hold of the wrong end of sausage. Dangers and cuteness. I don't think Mio's dangerous. Wake up that monster distracted by cuteness. Reminds me of like, oh, I remember like my dad was telling me like way back when we'd go camping, we'd be like, oh, we see a deer, let's go pet it. And my dad's like, by the way, people die every year getting like too close to things like deer that don't seem that harmful. Then you realize they have extremely sharp horns, stuff like that. It's a bit disheartening, but You're jealous of how cute that's what it was? Oh my gosh. No way. Well, you know you're a friend, so... Very clearly don't agree, but they're like, we're not gonna... You know. That was funny. Yeah. Like, for the record, the start to that, I wonder, do you have to actually summon it again if you want to fight it again? It didn't even leave, like, a gravestone, it looks like. That's interesting. So maybe that would make me think it's actually not one of the things for, you know, I mean, I could see just, if I do the, my plan was just do this. Yeah, it didn't give me anything else. I guess that makes sense then. If it doesn't leave a tombstone or something like that, even if it is technically unique, that'd be like tying one for Soul Hacker to, like, a story unique, you know? Then it'd only be like, say there was one to, like, the D&J fight, then it'd only be a New Game Plus thing, which wouldn't make any sense. But, yeah. Well, either way, I do think that's a good stopping point. I'm still a little bit disappointed that we couldn't do the, I mean, I guess we could do it if we went and got all that stuff, but the 3 Ravens at War was actually the side quest that I was really interested in, just because I really like Ashira, actually. I just think the character's so funny and unique. But, as always, I mean, it's the same thing as with the Valdi one that we got updated. Now we're missing other resources, and unless I literally look up specific ones, you know, it's going to be really hard to figure out what those are. I'd have to look up a wiki and figure out those exact materials, unless I wanted to spend a short eternity wandering around every single region getting all the mats I can. Which is something I do when I'm bored, but, you know. But either way, next time, I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow, because like I was saying, I need to go fight out the unique monsters, I need to get this inherited stuff, I gotta set up, like, my doctor's appointment and stuff. Got a lot of stuff to do. But, overall, after taking that, like, week and a half-ish break right towards the beginning of our Xenoblade 3 playthrough, which was actually really good, I kind of needed it. Much as I am enjoying streaming and stuff, I am still trying to at least get back to the point where I'm streaming 3-4 times a week, since I'm not really doing anything right now. So, we'll see. But anyways, guys, as always, I'll get the VOD posted to YouTube. And thanks so much for watching. I mean, anyone who stopped by the stream, I think... As always, I know I have a couple friends from, like, Discord and stuff that like to stop by every now and then. But not really chat. A few others do, you know. I just appreciate it. Like, I've been really enjoying streaming ultimately, so... Even if it's just for fun, support's always appreciated. Same with the VODs on YouTube and stuff. But I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.